YouTube, hello, welcome back to Snoot Mods.
We snooted.
We're doing even more Snoot Mods. We're
Yes, we have.
getting ever
plenty of
closer
time.
to episode 40.
You know what?
No.
I gotta use the restroom. I will be right back. And you will suffer. Dr. Mr. Cool.
No, now I gotta edit this out. Great. Good. Cool. You had 3 minutes of us watching a man hit metal. You fucking kidding me? You guys like Cowboy Bebop? You guys like Cowboy Bebop? Cowboy Bebop's like really cool. And like, so I like look at all this nice art. It's hard to tell with the light, but like, yeah, I was at Walmart the other day. Well, I say the other day, I bought this like 4 months ago. But I bought this the other day. I mean, let's be real. I bought it because Tank's a really good opening. Like, Tank is such a good opening to anything. And go figure, that is literally track 1 there on the track list. And the rest is, yeah, and the rest is, you know. Does this have? No, this doesn't have, oh my god, I can't think of the song. The classical music song of when it plays when Spike's bagel is falling out of the glass. It's like episode 11, I want to say. There it is. Okay, so my favorite Radiohead album is Kid A, right? And I love Kid A. And I know what everyone always says, they're like, hey, why not OK Computer or In Rainbows? And both are good albums, both are great albums, right? But there's just something good about Kid A. Honestly, I love the art of it. Like, even just it's like abstract art.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
No, what are you talking about? 'Cause,
Spinning the wheel!
Well, why were you flabbergasted? I now have receipts.
Spinning the wheel!
Why are you flabbergasted? Tell me, Mr. Cool.
We're spinning her wheels! That's a Wani mod. We need to get Wani up.
This sounds like an NSW mod.
Well, it might be. We'll find out together.
You were talking about Radiohead.
Yeah, nothing else. Oh, is that another fucking mod I have to add to the list? Okay, cool, great.
What? There's another mod?
Yes.
I have switched to wine, cause fuck it.
Apparently this is a rewrite / cope fic of Ending 2 of Wani. Yip-ee.
Wait, say that again?
A rewrite / cope fiction of Ending 2 of Wani.
The one where Inka's a simp. Right? That's Ending 2.
Sure, if that's how you want to call that.
You should. Drink the wine that I don't drink. Because that has a fancy name. And mine is just Stella Rosa.
So you see the game, yeah?
Yes.
Cool.
I also hear the game. Spinning her wheels. Oh, yes. the Olivia voice.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he's so bald.
You're right. I have to get the Inco glasses on. I spent half a year getting to know her.
Oh.
Getting close to her.
Oh.
The real her.
Oh.
Through every barrier she put in the way.
It's just a montage of fucking cute.
Like melting ice to find a star hidden within.
Too mushy.
It took 10 seconds to erase all of it.
Fuck you, Inco.
My eyes have been following the rotation of the ceiling fan overhead for close to 10 minutes now. I hadn't even bothered to turn on the lights when I got back to the house. I wanted to go upstairs. I should, but I just don't feel like getting up. The couch is closer to me, and close enough when I came to rest. Edicon would disapprove. My husband would disapprove, you're right. Not that it helped. I wanted to sleep, but I just couldn't. So I settled for staring. Watching smooth plastic blades gliding in the dim shade of the living room, focused on the glimmering point around 3 o'clock, where moonlight peeked through the curtains and kept hitting the fan.
And I snooze.
It was visual white noise, something to zone out to while I kept replaying the events of the night in my head, trying to narrow down the exact moment things had gone wrong. Gone wrong was an understatement. I think my vocabulary lacked a phrase powerful enough to capture how completely fucked the night had become. Cataclysmically wrong? Apocalyptically wrong? Too dramatic, yet it didn't even come close. Which made it all the more ironic at how right everything had been at first. Gently getting ready, reaching the Payne's residence, seeing her in that dress. Sublime. Felt like I could walk on water. Holding her close in the limo, seeing that smile, gray eyes I could see through lesser men warm as the sun. Warmer than the heat of her body against me. Then the way it made my head swim. I had never been drunk, but I imagined that had been close to it. I think we never should have left the car. Or so I had determined by at this point. The moment we walked into the building, things began to slide out of control. The check-in. I can perfectly visualize the moment Beth had extended the piece of paper towards her. It was frozen in my mind's eye like a migraine pain that wouldn't go away. She doesn't like help, doesn't want it, never has, even if and when it came to something as important as that speech. Maybe if it had been brought up in another, something gentler or more passive, or from someone else entirely, she might have been willing to give it a look. I want to blame Ben. He was like a shadow that kept casting himself across us, and every time he reared his head, Olivia got a little uglier, a little colder. But he wasn't the one who got on that stage. He certainly wasn't the one to gas her up and tell her to share her story. To tell her to open her heart, to study a student body that had treated her like dog shit for years, without helping her prepare at all.
No. He is a sad and withered being.
Could have done more, dumbass. You should have done more. My inner monologue keeps screaming at me, beating me, yelling to the cue of sawing fan blades swinging as a blur on the ceiling. Like if I whip myself enough, time will begin to rewind. Like I could get a second chance, reload a checkpoint, shove myself in Destiny's path, and force it to redirect. I wasn't wrong. I could have, and I should have, done more for her, with her, when I had her, when she was my everything. And now, I have nothing. The world is so gray now. Monotonous, dull. Every step of the walk home felt like a million miles, yet at the same time, it was barely noticeable. It was the truest expression of being on autopilot.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at images. Fuck you, Inko.
No matter how much air fills my lungs, I just feel empty. The pit that had hollowed itself out with those 3 words won't go away. In movies, during times like this, the last few seconds before midnight, something magical happens. She calls me, she changes her mind. I call her, I beg her to change her mind. I run after her, I march through the sleet and snow and pound on the pain's door and reach for her. Something stupid, something drastic, something impossible always happens in cinema. But I know better. It's just the same craving, some futile longing that made her bust her knee up after Edicon passed. I'd try for a miracle. I finally tear myself away from the fan and close my eyes, breathing deep. I can still smell the faintest hint of cologne wafting downstairs from my room. The lingering scent of soap from the bathrooms, the dull fabric stench of newly bought pieces of clothing perfect for the dance.
I'm sorry.
Reminders of a time just a few hours ago where I was a completely different man. Everything keeps reminding me of her. I do my best to focus on nothing, empty my head of thought, hoping that if I distance myself enough from sensation, I'll finally lull to sleep. I'll finally get a reprieve from the waking nightmare my waking moments have become. Gradually, as I blink out, I stop noticing the support of the cushions beneath my back, the brushing of the jacket sleeves against my arms. I just exist. A weight finally begins to draw over my eyelids. I slowly exhale. The front doorknob stirs. It clicks. I bolt up, arms flailing to catch me as I brace myself against the couch cushions. The leg closest to the ground shifts to plant my foot on the floor. My eyes widen. Did she? The door yawns open with a dull whine. A figure is in the doorway, consuming the threshold. Figure standing on 2 legs. I don't know what sinks faster, my face or my heart, before I'm blinded as the person lifts an arm and flicks the light switch.
No! Inko?
I groan, rubbing my eyes, peeking them open as they begin to adjust to the light once more. Hey, Mom. Normally, much like Dad, Mom's expressions... Momco. Normally, much like Dad, Mom's expressions were more controlled and subtle than any other person I had seen on the planet. Nothing can make her flinch. I had watched her weather the worst news possible before without so much as a wrinkle appearing. Never quite smiling, never quite frowning. At times it felt like she just didn't have a face. Not tonight. Her brow was furrowed, eyes squinted. Confusion was all about her. Even her moments were questioning, slowly taking a couple steps forward before pushing again.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
That's how you want to play her. She asked as she closed the door behind it, though noticeably didn't lock it in like usual. That confirmed my suspicions. This wasn't going to be an overnight stay. Well, I live here, so... I swung myself up, sitting properly as I looked towards her. She shook her head with a roll of her eyes.
Don't be like that.
She walked forward and past me, moving towards the kitchen. She was wearing comfy clothing, comfy by her standards at least. Jeans and an Abercrombie & Fitch plush jacket. No doubt a simple shirt beneath, the kind of apparel normally reserved for plane rides on... The kind of apparel normally reserved for plane rides in our households.
It's your night is all.
She continued, setting her purse on the island in the middle of the kitchen.
The formal. I figured you'd be out with your girlfriend or over at her godparents.
I grimaced, looking towards the floor even. When I glanced back at her, she had her hands sifting through her purse, but had paused to stare at me. That look had returned to her.
What happened? What are you doing here?
What didn't? There was a lot.
And
there was more of that. We are not together anymore. Feels strange to say it so out loud. Like I should be talking about someone else. What's more though, it hurts.
Oh, so school dances are always full of trauma. I'm sorry, Inky. I know it sucks. I've been there.
See,
your father left me at a school dance.
Single Kerb's deflated the scene of all emotion once again. Kerb and I have a theory that while Iko's parents are like kind of shitty, they're like busy with work and that happens, but they're a little scummy. We have a fan theory that Anon's parents are actually like super nice.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, because we never saw him before. This is technically the first time, even though this is like a
fan, yeah.
But you don't see them, so you're just kind of like assuming, oh yeah, my parents are never around because they're fucking dickheads and they go do whatever and blah 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 blah. But in truth, like they could literally just be working, coming home late, like they could be like doctors and shit. And they love him so much, and they're just like, oh, we're doing it all for him. We just want him to have, we gonna keep boundaries, so we're not gonna helicopter parent, and he's gonna have all the freedom he wants, and da 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 da. But Inko's just like, God, my parents hate me. But I think my theory for that was with Anon's parents.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's because like Anon's parents are like. Yeah, there's some. I think they're like contractors, but like the people who draw like the blueprints, architects. That's the
architects.
Oh yeah, well, fuck it. There you go. Yeah, because Anon's like, my parents suck. They hate me, and it's like, didn't they send you to a brand new school and get you an apartment just so you didn't have to put up with any of the embarrassment? Like, God, what shitty people.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's who knows? We never.
I mean, maybe they
get to see it, but
yeah.
I just like to think that it's all teenage angst misunderstandings.
Yeah, and yeah, like we said, it is a like we said, it is a fan theory. We don't actually know anything. This is just what we like to, flow on the narrative. But yeah. Yeah, his dad was a bit, oh yeah, I'm thinking of Inko. But yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't have the ultimatum or anything like that, but it could have really been one of those things like how Ripley's just like, oh, I'm gonna be kind of mean to you to be kind of tough with you, and I just really don't know what I'm gonna do. So he could have just been Anon's just like, I gotta leave and da-da-da-da-da, and he's just like, ugh, fine, this ultimatum. But then, like, after Anon left, he could be sitting on the couch with his head in his hands, just being like, I don't know how to stop the generational trauma. Oh, no. But, I mean, we'll never know. It also could just be because I have great parents, so I don't have shitty parents. I've had some difficult times with my parents, but they've always loved me.
I've had fun with my parents. Let's not get into that.
I'm just glad that your mother has stopped thinking I'm stealing your organs.
Yeah, that is nice. That is nice of her to think that. I quietly nod, looking away, back at the floor. My hands had come together by this point, gently holding each other. Mom took the silence as initiative. I heard her walking a bit closer to me as she began to speak further. I looked in her direction, finding her leaning against the nearest arm of the couch.
Maybe this is a sign of some sort. Things happen for a reason. It's because you're a Sagittarius, Inko.
Oh, horoscopes again, Mother?
You're a Stegosaurus, Inko.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I mean, well... You were only going to be here for 6 more months, at most. You wouldn't have had lasted long distance. You know that.
I always figured we were going to go to the same college.
Why? She'd be going for art, if she ever got anywhere to begin with. The campuses you're going to see next month aren't really known for their creative programs.
Yeah, she was going to go for art, and I was going to go for photography.
Honey, I think you know that's not a good idea.
I can feel my face grow stiff, my eyes harden. Mom, no.
Inko. We brought you to St. Hammond because you wanted to pursue this camera stuff, and it hasn't gotten anywhere. You've been stuck in the mud for a semester with nothing to show for it. This was the place to figure it out, and it wasn't good enough. Maybe it's time to accept that your father and I know what we're talking about.
I don't reply. I look away from her, off somewhere else, towards a canvas display hanging on the floor, on the far wall. On anything, really. I just want to ignore this conversation. She presses on.
We can get you an internship with the company by your sophomore year. If you do good, you'd have an offer for full-time the moment you graduated.
I feel my face getting hot. I don't want to do what you guys do.
You clearly don't want to do photography either. You had some best-in-the-field teacher your whole time here, and even he couldn't...
Do not talk about Idacon like that. My tone is a warning, and my stare is firm. It's a degree of severity I had never given my mom before, one I didn't really think was in me. She returns it, glaring at me, before her eyes squeeze shut and she gives a long sigh.
We shouldn't be having this conversation right now.
She said, pushing away from the couch.
I'm sorry, you've had a long night. Me and your dad, you know we love you. And we just want what's best for you. Speaking of your father...
She clicked...
Son of a bitch!
She clicked her tongue, pulling her phone out of her pocket.
If I waste any more time, he's gonna kill me.
She begins to walk deeper into the house, towards a room that had converted into an office the few times they had been here. Where's Dad? Why are you back home?
Out in the car, keeping it warm.
I hear her shuffling through file cabinets as she speaks, raising her voice to remain audible through the walls.
Corporate landed a surprise deal with another client last minute this morning. Needed us to redirect and settle with them before the window of opportunity expired. We didn't have our files for their case with us on our last trip, so we had to dip here and pick them up. We'll be back on our next flight by midnight, provided we don't doodle ass around in traffic. What's a... Please don't doodle ass, Mother.
I nod to myself. Even when they come home, it's for work. It's always work.
It's always doodling. Doodle assing.
Always.
I've never heard that before.
Parents always
doodle ass.
Will we be back for Christmas?
Probably, but you know how it goes. Being a architect, We'll have gifts whenever we do make it back, I promise. Just make sure you don't go to Bed Bath & Beyond and pick up a remote that can control our lives like the last architect did.
Was that his job in Click?
Yeah, he was an architect.
Okay. Figures. I huff, flopping back onto the couch. As I begin to shuffle back into the cushions to try and get comfortable, I feel something crinkle in one of my suit pockets, jabbing at my ribs. Grunting, I pull it out. It's a folded up piece of paper, a little crinkled now due to it pressing against me. Carefully, I unfold it. I feel overburdened as I stare at the sketch. I gently brush a thumb against the 6-month-old lines, and my fingerprint becomes smudged with degraded red ink. I can hear Mom walking back through the house, getting closer. I hear her stuff something into her purse.
Must be the doodle ass.
Picking it up as the chains around its hoops clink together. She begins to move past the couch and pauses.
What you looking at?
Frowning, I reach the paper out to her, and she accepts. She tilts her head.
Is this you?
Yeah, she drew that the day I met her. She let me keep it, and it was like a good luck charm, I guess. I was planning to show it to her tonight at the end of the dance to remind her how far we had come. How close we used to be. Something stirs in Mom's face as she studies the sketch. She looks back to me, a soft frown on her features. Putting the paper down, she comes to lean up the far arm of the couch once more.
Every relationship hits rocks, Inko. No couple in the world doesn't have spats. Sometimes you just need space. And even if you don't get back together, the love you guys had and the experiences you shared aren't gone. You have that forever. Now, bye!
But I don't want that. I want her back. It's a lot too whiny. I know I sound pathetic. I don't care. It's like a dam cracking open, eyes stinging, threatening to break down. My hands dig into my knees.
And maybe she'll come back. I went back to your father.
That makes me stop in my tracks. The storm bubbling up in my heart freezes. I back at her, gawking at Mom. You and Dad broke up? When? You've been together like my whole life.
Not exactly true.
She went to speak further, but her phone chimed out once more. Another text alert. In a move I've seen her do before, she popped the smartphone out, swiped it in silence, and jammed it back into her pocket. Dad's going to kill you.
I think I'll manage. But no, we were apart for about half a year when you were very little. When you had just been born, really.
Why? What was it over?
Your father's cigarettes.
You broke up with him over smoking? Wait, Dad smoked? I'm sitting up straight again by this point. This is one of those moments you rarely get in life. Parent lore. The forbidden knowledge of who Mom and Dad were before they were just Mom and Dad.
Okay.
No history in the world, no matter how bloody or pivotal, was as enthralling as this. Dad hated smokers. He never passed up a chance to sneer and badmouth a man with a cigarette in his mouth. He had complained about the stench of tobacco smoke countless times before, in the car, in restaurants, everywhere. He said it made him sick to his stomach.
Like a freight train.
Mom said with a laugh. She looked off elsewhere in the house. A distant look in her eyes and a little smile on her face.
He picked it up back during high school when he played football. He told me it was a little rite of passage that his team made incoming freshmen do. Some of them, like him, got hooked on the stuff, I guess. He always had a pack on him during college and beyond. I was willing to tolerate it back then. It was just part of who he was. People had their vices, but that changed when I got pregnant with you.
She looked back at me, meeting my eyes.
The moment we learned, I turned to him and told him that he had to stop it. He had to quit. He had to start quitting there and then, because I would never allow those cigarettes around our baby. Never. He got better for a time. It wasn't pretty, but he managed. Up until you were born. After a couple months, I was called back into work, and he had to watch you solo for a weekend while I was off on my first trip since the delivery. I got back home a day earlier than I had planned. I decided to surprise him. And he came back home to a house full of cigarette smoke. Your cradle just a couple of feet away from his recliner.
At some point during our talking, I'd begun to lean forward in my seat. My eyes were rapt and focused. I don't think I had blinked once.
I was beyond pissed. I don't think I've ever been that angry before. But what really set me off was hearing you cough. At just that right moment, you hacked and wheezed and began to cry. And that made me see red.
She whistled, shaking her head once again.
Screamed at him. I told him I wanted a divorce. Swooped you up and left. We stayed at my mom's for the rest of the year. It wasn't easy, but I refused to let that man near our child if he couldn't control it. If his addiction was that strong, he could be alone with it.
A smile began to creep across her features.
And then one day, middle of December, he calls me finally. Tells me he hasn't touched a light in 5 months and has kicked it. He begs me to see me and you again. And something about the way he spoke, I just knew he was being honest.
She looked out towards the windows near the doorway. There, between the blinds, I could faintly see the outline of Dad's car.
He hasn't touched one ever since.
She looked back at me.
Hun, people change for who they love. If they really love them, it just happens. If you cared about that girl as much as you say you did, you know the feeling I'm talking about.
I nodded slowly.
Son, do you want to hug that gator?
I want to hug that gator, Mom.
Good. Because if she feels that way too, she'll find it in herself to make the difference. It's on her, even if, from what I've heard, she's got a hell of a lot to sort out.
What do you know about Olivia's problems?
I also want to hug that gator.
It's understandable. It was the first time I had said, or even thought about her name since coming home. Mom scoffed.
Mother's talk, Inky. Did you really think I'd let you go to another family's house this long without at least shooting a text over Faces Lab?
Face Lab? Facebook.
Face Lab.
I hadn't considered it. At the very least, Mrs. P never really brought it up. Mom pushed herself up from the couch's arm, walking closer to me. The small woman scooped me up in a tight hug, an embrace I reciprocated before she planted a kiss on my forehead.
It's gonna get better, hun. One way or another, I promise. She hugged that gator.
She paused, ruffling my metaphorical hair.
It's late. You've had a rough night. Get some sleep, okay? We'll text you once we're off the plane.
Alright, Mom. I will. Love you. Tell Dad I said I love him too.
I love you too, Inky.
She said as she neared the doorway.
Don't forget to lock this, okay? Good night.
Mom walked through the door, pausing to take one last look at me before she closed it. I faintly hear her footsteps fade off outside, the low hum of the car engine growling to life, picking up some moments after before it too trails away. I crashed back into the cushions one final time. I glanced toward the crinkling form of Olivia's red sketch of me on the table, only to find my eyes struggling to keep open. As the sleep I so desperately craved not long ago finally begins to crawl over me, I think back one last time on what she said, and what I'm thinking, on what I'm hoping. I'd try for a miracle.
It's been
1 week since you looked at me. At first, I kept wondering whether or not my parents would actually make it back in time for the holidays, for once. By the morning of Christmas Eve, I stopped. I hadn't sent so much of a text or a call since Mom found me that night. Yeah, dude. I knew better. They weren't going to be here. I thought I really recognized that it was Christmas Eve today. It was just another span of consciousness that had become my life since that night. It spent my time since the formal just existing, doing the bare minimum to fit the definition. It's all I had the energy and willpower to muster. Nothing had any appeal to it. What little I ate tasted like air. My sleep was dreamless. Neither TV nor anything to be found on the computer was of substance. It may as well have been static. There was one thing that did have meaning, day in, day out. One item that had become the sole obsessive fixation of my mind. My phone. That wasn't entirely truthful. The smartphone was just a link, a bridge to reach the true object of my desire. Her. I wanted to see her. Touch her, feel her palm against mine. The perfect interlink of our fingers against one another. The way her claw tips raked tiny white lines against my skin. Hear the way she teased me, laughed at me, whispered in my ear. The sight of her smile, the depths of her eyes. It wasn't just a want. It was a need. Longing, yearning. She had become like a drug, something I didn't realize I was an addict for until I was suddenly without it. I had dealt with loneliness the entirety of my life. It was the default mode of my social being, but going back to that now was like being cast out to wither in the cold. I wanted her back. I needed her to take me back. The Messenger app kept drawing me back in, time and time again. At first, it had been out of sort of homesickness. Even if she was gone, our texts were still there. Every little exchange, every shared doodle. At night, when I couldn't close my eyes, I found myself doom-scrolling through their contents, reliving the pain I thought I had gone away until I finally forced myself to put it down. It stopped being memories by the second morning. It warped into temptation. She was right there. Even if I couldn't physically reach her, I could still text her. Communication was possible, and that meant there was a way to fix this. I lost track of the amount of messages I drafted. Some of them were short, easygoing greetings. Hey, what's up? Hello. Sometimes I got bolder, even threw in a few extra syllables. How have you been? You doing okay? Sometimes my fingers started typing before my mind truly processed what I was doing. Rambling at the screen, paragraph by paragraph. At first it was just asking to speak to her in person, but as the days stretched on, the attempts evolved into frantic apologies. I thought it was right to speak my mind that night, but now I just don't care anymore. I could be in the wrong. If that's what it would take to bring us back together again. Being to blame is a better fate than being alone. Of course, I never actually sent any of those would-be messages. I was too chicken shit to do that. I really hadn't changed much since coming to St. Hammond. My finger would hover an inch above the send button, those 4 blue letters glowing bright as the sun. It was the simplest motion possible. Just lower the finger, hear the phone hum and chime, and wait. And just like each time before, I'd just delete it all and close the app again. A silent agreement to repeat the ordeal once more in a couple hours. That same urge was starting to creep over me now. I had been slumped on the couch in the living room when I felt that it tickled my brain. I'd been there for a few hours by this point, a half-eaten breakfast burrito on the table in front of me. Off to the side, near the furthest leg of the couch, a growing mound of trash had begun to build up. Not entirely different from the debris that... Sorry, I saw the TM, I got a little curious.
Yeah.
Not entirely different from the debris that had cluttered the area when I fell ill earlier in the semester. Only this time I had neither a common cave cold nor a homemade Inco walk to blame for it. Other areas of the kitchen had been left in similar states of uncleanliness. I had tried to make an effort to be better about this sort of thing, after she found the place like this that day, but now I just kind of mustered the urge to care. It wasn't going anywhere. I could always deal with it later, but later just never really came. I've been zoned out to reruns of HBCO's Game of Stones for a while now. I had never really cared for the series that much. Fantasy wasn't exactly my thing, but it was as good of a background noise as anything else. Besides, it had a certain charm to it. "Where's the gods of tits and wine?" Peter Dunkley cries from the television, earning a little snort from me. Whatever followed in the fictional exchange slowly petered out of focus, though. Where the still, dead screening form of my phone beckoned to me from the periphery of my eye. It's Christmas Eve, I think to myself. It's been nearly a week. Maybe this is the moment. My hand begins to reach, only for my fingers to clench. I feel my brow knit in frustration. It's so stupid, acting so hesitant over a goddamn text, treating my Nokia like it's a venomous snake. But every time that dance starts, it ends with my knots dancing tight within my stomach. And then I think of her, and full courage numbs my mind. I lunge for the phone. Desperation's in full control. Raptor Jesus has taken the wheel this time, and there's nothing stopping it. My fingers are flying fast as I can, drumming up the most pathetic thing I've ever possibly written before. "I miss you so much. I'm so sorry I can't stand being away from you any longer. Take me back, Olivia. I'll do anything. I just want a chance. Please. Please." Yeah, you're right. That was pretty pathetic. My thumb shivers to a halt. I look around at the walls, at the kitchen, at the men in funny costumes screaming about Northern King on the television, at the pile of trash a few feet away from me, hoping that one of them might be able to advise me, gas me up, tell me the secret to beating this. And then, my thumb lowers again, on the backspace. Bit by bit, my last attempt dissolves until it's finally reduced to the first line. And even that is cast aside, replaced with one word. Hey. Feel tension building in me. A push. Going to do it this time. I'm really, really going to do it. There's no going back. I have to. But what if I don't? What if I just do it later? What if it goes bad? What if she's not ready? What if I fuck this up? It could be forever. My thumb slowly pivots from send to delete over and over again. 3 letters hanging over my mind and heart like a vocabulary sword of Damocles. And then it pauses.
People change for who they love.
This isn't healthy. I say aloud to no one but myself. This is the opposite of change. It's stagnation. Wallowing in my own pity, despair, and literal filth, waiting for a second chance to be dropped into my lap. I don't even bother deleting the message. I just toss the smartphone away with a groan as my hands come to massage my face. Smacks against the far couch arm before flopping onto its back, screen up. I look back at the television, trying to distance myself from the latest fit of pinning, only to realize with a frown that it was so focused on text begging that I had completely tuned out from whatever the hell was happening. Some gold-haired velociraptor is sitting on a spiky chair and screaming at the wailing parasol on the floor. What? Screw this. I mutter, grabbing the remote and flicking the television off. As the screen dims down, I push myself to my feet, taking the moment to stretch my arms. I resolve to go lay back in bed, and as I struggle to pop my back, maybe by the time I wake up from my nap, some Christmas Eve magic will solve all my problems. It's the most wonderful time of year, after all. Bad chance. I start moving towards the staircase. That little hum may as well have been a thunderclap, piercing the growing silence of the living room. I freeze dead in my tracks. My phone screen's lit up. A message notification has appeared, waiting to be unlocked. Heart begins to pound in my chest. Oh shit! Oh shit! Is this it? Did the send button get pressed when the phone hit the chair arm? Did she text me on her own? I stumble over my own feet in my haste to reach the device, tripping and falling onto my knees, my chest crashing into the seat cushions as my hands fumble over themselves to try and grasp the phone. Fat-fingered, it fumbles out of my grip before I can catch it. Finally, I raise the screen to face me. Did she change her contact picture? Because it looks an awful lot like... There you go.
Cool, man. Fucking got it.
Finally, I can like go through and like read chat real quickly.
Well, see, you were having a good moment, like you were getting it, so I didn't want to interrupt nothing. That's why I've just been typing. Hey, man, you alive?
Yeah, if it's a cope fic, that means they're gonna try and turn ending 2 into something happier. That's
see
usually
that,
what,
and
that's
that's
usually
what
what
I
that
assumed
means. Yeah.
that was what the term meant. But the way that it's going, I'm wondering if this is just like a you know, a filler, like the fill-in, a bridge in between that they wanted to put in there, and then it's gonna go the same way, or is it gonna like not go?
And I agree, this is very, very well written. I like this a lot.
See, at first, I was thinking it was kind of draggy, but then I was realizing like, no. This is giving it like it's flowing the way it's supposed to. It's giving a lot of information that's tying in together with what he's like thinking and going through. And I was like, yeah, I understand like that, like I would be thinking this much and all that. So yeah, no, this is actually in line. So I changed my mind in my head. I am on board. And I've always known I could type to you. It's just I prefer you to hear my beautiful voice.
Damien. God damn it.
Hey, he's your inside man.
He is. Angry disappointment comes crashing out of the emotional high that had crescendoed. I can never say crescendo correctly. Crescendoed inside me but seconds prior, only to gradually fade into a simmer.
I couldn't say gazpacho, so...
No, this is all good. I haven't heard from anyone else since the formal. I haven't talked to anyone else since my brief exchange with my mom, period. Something was something. Not to mention, he wouldn't know how his adoptive sister is doing. You could have an in.
See?
I draw a breath. No. Not going there anymore. If she wants to contact me, she knows where to find me. I need to get past this. I begin to shoot back a reply. Yeah, I'm here. What's up? The typing animation bubbles up beneath, fluttering dot by dot. So finally, Damien suddenly stops typing and doesn't resume. I can feel a frown forming on my lips as a pit settles into my stomach. I've been so consumed with the fallout of the breakup that I didn't really consider how it would affect my connections with everyone around Olivia. Time with the pains was likely a distant memory. Maybe this was just Damien's way of tying it off, saying goodbye and setting boundaries before the final semester started. Just as I begin to ponder where the
Jurassic Park 3 ringtone.
Oh God, it is. Do you think that's intentional?
I would love for it to be intentional, but it was played so much during that time. Like, everyone had that damn ringtone that I think it's now just, like, ingrained in everyone's head as a ringtone, rather than the fact that it was the ringtone that alerted the Spinosaurus.
I mean, that is true. Yeah, it's also called St. Hammond High School, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, you got me there, yeah. They could have snuck that little bit in there,
I'm
like,
kind of curious. I'm gonna find this in the files real quick.
little gremlin coding. I hope they watched this, and I hope that it was intentional, and I said that, and then they were like, they got it.
They did it.
It is the ringtone that alerted the Spinosaurus to their location when they were floating in the river. Oh, no. It was, it alerted them of the Spinosaurus's location because he had eaten the person, and it was ringing inside of the Spinosaurus.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Jurassic Park 3 in a very long time. Alan, wake up!
Just as I begin to ponder where the hell I've been sitting, I'd be sitting at lunch from here on, the phone screen slammed into a new animation. I was receiving a call from my foolish-filled friend, the brick buzzing in my fingers. I don't hesitate. I slam the accept the key. As I bring the phone to my ear, I can begin to hear a familiar voice crackle through.
Yo, Inko. Good to hear from you, buddy. How are you doing?
Hell yeah, they even set up to do the animation. Give me a second, I gotta like set up, because this is a different file, I need to set up to open with, VS Studio. Yeah, Visual Studio Code.
You?
Damien?
I did the Damien line.
No.
No.
I'm just, Damien Inco phone call. Play phone beep phone call. Yeah, there's no, like, dev line. There's dev talk. Oh, okay. That's just a fourth wall break. Get the end. Okay. I want to see
Still love it though.
I want to say a dozen different things. I simultaneously want to act cool and collected, but also spill my guts out to him. Act normal sounds good, but hearing the first other voice besides my own after nearly a week's worth of solitude with my own depressive thoughts has made me oddly emotional. I settle on a little of everything. Well, I've been better. How about you? I can hear him sigh through the phone.
Pretty much the same thing here. It's been a rough week. Sorry if you aren't in the mood to talk. It just seemed easier and faster than texting, you know?
No, that's cool. It's good to hear from you, man.
You too.
He paused. I can practically hear the gears in his brain turning through the speaker.
The monkey.
The monkey.
Listen, Inko, this is gonna sound really stupid, but... Have you seen Olivia today? At all, anyway?
No? Wait, what? Why? What's going on? I had probably sat back on the couch by this point, but as the implications of his question began to fully sink in, I found myself rising to my feet. My eyes had to be wide and white as eggshells.
Me and Dad went out back to check the pool, make sure it wasn't flooding over. The moment we came back in, Liv's door was wide open. She was nowhere to be seen. Tried calling her, but she isn't answering. She hasn't been good since the dance, Inko. It's got us all pretty rattled. So, you sure you haven't seen her?
The more he speaks, the more I can hear the hints of real brotherly fear and concern in his voice. This was perhaps the most serious I had ever heard him talk in the half year I had known him. What's more, though, the mentions of a pool flooding confuses me. Marching over to the nearest pair of blinds in the living room, I peek them open, only for the memory to surface as the outside world greets me. I hadn't left my house since that night, but I had heard over the news that a warm front had moved in but a day after the shit hit the fan. It was so chilly out, frigid for the dinosaurs, but most of the snow had melted. Outside, all I could see for miles was damp grass and straight clumps of stubborn, white, thick piles of snow that kept themselves cool enough to linger. I don't know why, because I have playback of my mic through my headset, but every now and again, it gets just a tiny bit off and it makes me like trip over lines.
That's what it used to do to me. when I would hear myself all the time through your thing, and I would be sitting there catching what I'm saying, and I'd be like,
Is that a
so
fucking Rocket Power reference in my chat? I swear to God. I think it's Rocket Power. It sounds so familiar, but I'm trying to
let me see.
trying to fucking place it, and I'm like, I think it's Rocket Power. Because like,
I mean, it
has
sounds
to-
like it could be a Rocket Power thing. Is it something that the squid did?
No, I think it's Auto.
Yeah. See, I'm glad that we got it all fixed up. And that's also why I'm using the OBS to make it sound better for VODs and such.
Oh no, is it just like a regular thing? It's just a regular thing, I guess. Okay.
What, the half pipe of death? I don't know. I know the wall of death.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I think
okay.
it's just used in Rocket Power then. But yeah, like you. It's at once a comfort and a problem. Her wheelchair isn't likely to get messed up or stuck now that the blizzard's gone, but that also meant she was free to go wherever she pleased. And considering everything... No, I haven't seen her, promise. Why would I? You know what happened, right?
Yeah, I know. It's just... Shit, man, I don't know.
The pause returns and lingers for some seconds. As I step away from the blinds, he begins to speak again.
Actually, tell me, what happened that night, Inko? What did you do to my sister?
She seriously didn't say anything about it?
She said and did a lot of things, man. She was pissed at the world. I want to hear from you, though. Your side of the story.
A fresh pang of regret needles its way into my chest as I begin to recall the events of the night, as I knew them. I remember seeing Damien shocked in the crowd, following Olivia's outburst on the stage. I figured there would be a good enough place to start. I managed to get to her outside and get her to stop. I tried talking to her into going back and apologizing, tried convincing her that things could still be salvaged. She just wouldn't listen to me. It was like the more I said, the angrier she got. Admittedly, I lost my temper a little.
Uh-huh. How?
I was scared shitless about how her actions might affect all of us. No. Just me. I let it out. It was a slip of the tongue. I didn't think it meant it. I was just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
He hisses sympathetically. I can imagine the wince on his face.
How to hiss sympathetically? Yes. Hiss. Bad move.
No shit. After that, she just locked me out. Said I didn't know her and that she didn't want me to help her. And then she... She left. Haven't heard from her since.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Damn, dude, I'm sorry for you.
I don't know what to say. I feel a little bit of warmth, hearing at least one person lift me up. But it just feels empty. It doesn't change anything. She's still gone. How is she?
Not good, bro.
He sighs again. As he talks more, I can hear the phone connection stutter and pop. He's moving around, like pacing out of anxiety.
Me. Gotten angry before, real angry. But after she got back that night, it was like she was on a warpath. Screamed and shut everyone out. Heard her breaking shit in her room. After that, it was just quiet. Didn't say a thing. Didn't come outside. Is it stuttering? Okay.
Until now?
Yeah, until now. Found the door open, can't find her anywhere, and you know the rest.
Demon, how the hell do you lose someone in a wheelchair?
I don't know, dude. Her new wheels are too quiet. You know how fast she can book it. She was locked in one moment, and suddenly she was gone. Vinny and Mom didn't even know she had opened the door.
Sorry, I ain't blaming you. I'm just worried too, man.
You're fine. Thanks for talking, though. I'm gonna go poke a few others, see if they might know something. Hopefully, if not, then, well...
His voice trails off. I get you, man. Thanks for calling me. I appreciate it.
Are you doing okay, Inko? Like, really? How are you?
I try to do what dudes do with dudes. Hold it in. Should not do that. You gotta be open about that shit.
Yeah, feelings are important.
Nah,
We must express them.
I'm doing terrible, man. This fucking sucks. I can feel myself deflating like a popped balloon, my shoulders drooping. It feels weak to say it out loud, but it's also kind of a weight off my shoulders. It's giving me the chance to finally voice the funk that had been haunting me for the last week.
I can imagine. Inko, you're my friend. Liz is too. Even if Liz doesn't want to date you anymore. Me, Mom, Pop, heck, even Vinny. We know what kind of person you are.
I would kill Vinny.
The bald one. We still love you and your baldness. You've got a place here if you need it, alright?
I'm glad you saw that. So good.
Yeah, the goddamn Blues Brothers.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that. It stunts me in place. I don't even know how to process it. It feels fake to a degree. Like I'm expecting a psych, some sort of punchline to let me know it's just a joke. One big fucking joke with me at the epicenter.
Inko, did you start a joke and no one laughed at?
Yes. But it doesn't come.
Inko, you there?
I can feel something stinging at my eyes. I swallow hard, raising a wrist to wipe them. Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, dude. I needed that. I'm glad I met you guys.
Me too, man. I'm gonna dip, but if you need me or any of us, you got our numbers. You good?
I think I am. See ya, man. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The line chimed shut.
Why is it? There it goes.
I heard the phone close to my chest for a moment, playing back what just happened in my head.
We still love you.
That hollowness that had settled in my chest since that night, finally felt a little less everything. It made me want to smile. And then I glanced back at the window I had peered out of a while. I was on the phone. Walking back across the living room, I stare out at the chilly marshscape that post-snow Valkyria Bluffs had become. She's out there, somewhere. Alone. Doing cave God knows what. After the shit we put each other through. It takes all of a second for me to determine what I must do. I was barely thinking as I raced upstairs, flinging off the dingy clothing I had been decaying in for nearly a week. Saving the girl and, hopefully, our relationship called for something better. Something cleaner. Something warmer. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Designer jeans? Check. Jacket? Check. Sunglasses? You fucking know it. In my haste to reach the front door downstairs, I nearly forgot my wallet and keys. Where is it? Where is it? I'm putting it on.
What?
I'm putting on the shirt.
There's a shirt?
My shirt?
What shirt?
The shirt I wore for the finale.
Oh. It's a big moment. Need a big shirt. I don't know why I typed that when he left, and I could have just said, true that. I am not used to doing this. But I am glad I am not just talking to myself in an empty void. See, you guys get to see all the good shit. I don't get to see nothing. I only get to see the game.
Stumbling back a couple of steps, my momentum lagging with my stride, I lean over the counter and swipe both up. I check my phone one last time. It's just now reaching in noon. She could be anywhere out there, but whether she wants to admit it or not, I have gone to know her. I know how she thinks. The arcade? That's no chance. Something to eat? Too dramatic. She wouldn't go through this much effort for food. The high school is probably the last she'd want to go to. She'd want to be at right now. Maybe the local arts center. Could be looking for motivation. Or what about Idacon's grave? Wait, had he even been buried yet? Shit, I can't remember. So consumed as I am with pacing about and pondering where to begin searching first, I scarcely realized that there was just a knock at the door. I freeze, my head slowly creeps to stare at the doorway. It's silent. I don't hear footsteps outside. I hadn't heard any to begin with. Slowly, so slowly, I take a step towards the door. Then another, and another. Bring my eye up to the peephole, and I don't see anyone. I scowl, leaning away. Probably just some dumb kids pulling a prank. Ding-dong ditching still popular with the youth, right? You're an idiot, Inko.
Yeah, well, we always knew Inko was a fucking idiot.
And yet, as I start walking away, something knocks at the door a second time, harder now. And I finally realized that I couldn't see anyone. I become a being of contradictions. All at once, I feel like something impossible is weighing down on me, preventing me from moving, but something else inside me is roaring at me to turn around and go for it. My heart can't figure out if it wants to go fucking crazy or slow to a stop.
Oh my god, just do it, dumbass.
My breathing feels heavy. I can feel trembles in my fingers. I move back to the door and begin to open it. And everything stops. Silver on yellow. Eyes like ice. The loudest guitar solo in the history of the world is wailing in my soul.
Thanks, Fang.
Every sensation is an overload. In the truest sense of the word, I'm stunned. Drop dead. Speechless. I don't know how long I stare. Probably too long. It felt like forever, but it may have just been a moment. Can I just say, I know, like, we're in the middle of a scene. This song really is, like... It's right there, man. This song is just right there. There's just something about it. You just hear it and it's like...
It up.
You're like, yeah. You're just like, yeah, dude. Like, everything, it will be okay.
And then I see Vinny.
Hey, Anon. It's me, Vinny. Like, oh, God. Said Anon.
Yep, makes you feel.
A second stretch to its fullest, playing out to infinity. What do I say? Say something. Fucking say something. Anything. Hey, dork ass.
Stop staring at me, dude. It's fucking cold, let me in.
I had remained silent in the wake of her greeting towards me. Quiet and still, too overwhelmed by the sudden nature of our meeting to know what to do or say. Too mesmerized by seeing her again to realize I was gawking at her. Just like during the first few days of class. Nothing really has changed. Except for her expression. When I first opened the doorway, she had been looking up at me with wide eyes that they were full of uncertainty, her expression timid. But now her gaze had narrowed into something withering, a tiny scowl on her snoot. Bags had returned under her eyes with a vengeance. She clearly hadn't been sleeping much. Sorry. Hey, Silence begins to stretch between us once more, our eyes remaining locked, waiting for someone to break. I blinked first, glancing up and over her shoulder. I take the time to clear my throat. Why are you here, Liv?
I have to say before I start, I always love when there's new art.
There's a lot of new art in this.
Good. I love when people take time, like you even got new art, which
I
I didn't
did.
answer.
I did, yeah.
It's such a nice touch to just have new things to look at.
Yeah. It's nice. It helps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that's the thing. It's a visual novel. It helps you visualize the scene.
Yeah, and I was really hoping, like, every time we were sitting in black, and I'm just sitting there like, come on, give us something.
Yeah.
Give us something new. Like, it could just be for a couple seconds, just something new. But, like I was saying with Mr. Cool, really like them using the CGs for the memories that he had.
Yeah. I need to.
Alright.
No, but like even like we played some mods where the art wasn't like anything great. And I could say and name a few of them, but like even then, like you still put the time and effort in. You know, like that's time.
Exactly.
That's heart, and we can see that. It shows.
Yeah. Yeah, the quality, any kind of quality notes aside and whatnot, it's just nice to have new pieces of stuff coming in for the new mods, because I treat these mods more in line of part of the universe, not just some offshoot thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard for me to not consider pretty much most of this canon in some way or another.
Holy shit, that entire scene with Inko and his mom earlier was like, yeah, this is good soul food right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I come in?
She ignored the question. Looking back to her, she returned the glance for a moment longer before looking away towards her lap.
It's cold out.
I huffed softly. I was hoping for more, but she wasn't wrong. It was oddly chilly out for such a damp day, which meant it was twice as worse for her. I couldn't just let her linger in the cold. Yeah, of course, I said, shuffling back in out of the doorway, keeping it open for her. Olivia wheels herself in without another word. Okay. Oh, yeah. Shit's a mess. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, it's so dirty. Look at it.
Okay, at what point do you message Damien and be like, oh, hey, by the way, she's okay?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. As she moves past me, my eyes follow her, and then beyond her, to the dismal state of the living room. My mouth curls into a frown. This was the worst possible time she could have chosen to visit. Like, I suppose. It's just as soon as she rolled by, I'd be like, oh, yeah, sure. Hold on, let me just... But, looks like a pigsty, and what's worse, it doesn't take her long to call out as much.
You're not cleaning up after yourself again.
Yeah, how about you? She dryly noted.
I'm perfectly clean.
Fuck, I don't believe that for a second.
Why are you mumbling at me, Inko?
Oh, it's my...
Where have you picked up this bad habit?
Oh, my cousin! She dryly noted, looking off in the direction of the couch and the little hill of garbage near its left legs. I know.
You can't start doing that again, dude.
No. I repeat, my voice raising as I feel a flare of irritation rise in me. My eyes swivel back towards Olivia, only to see that she's looking at me again, too. The scowl's left her by this point. She just looks tired, dead to the world. Whatever agitation that could have been building is doused, my brow furrowing. I know, that's fair. You don't want to just immediately whip it up and like, oh, hold on. But it is like, I want to see if they address that at all, as if like, Inko ever messages Damien.
Well, the funny thing is like, if someone was looking for someone and wanted to come in and I let them in, and then, why did it jump back to Damien? Oh. and then they just whiz past me to the living room, I would just take that like couple seconds, just be like, "Hey, she's good. We'll tell you after. Gotta talk.
Yeah.
Bye."
There's just been a lot recently. She doesn't seem interested in the meager justification, looking away from me, continuing to inspect the dismal state of my household. She just stays quiet, saying nothing. She rolls herself over to one of the canvas paintings my parents had decorated the walls of the hallway with, staring up at it. The silence begins to eat me. She begins to eat the painting.
She begins to eat the painting. I
This
do not
shit's
know what's
terrible.
going on anymore, but I am happy that we are in the same vicinity.
What are you
Will
doing?
this be my life from now on?
Yes, it will. Are you doing okay, Liv? She doesn't respond, her eyes lower from the painting towards the floor. Finally, she shrugs.
It is what it is.
This is not an is what it is situation. This is very much not.
For me, it is what it is.
She looks at me, dead in the eyes once again.
How about you? You good?
I'm
No, you're not.
Well, neither were you! She cuts me off. I freeze, not sure what to say in response to that. She keeps staring at me. Comes to me eventually. Neither are you.
Nothing I'm not used to. I'll survive. Kind of expected it anyways.
My heart twists. She's staring at something else on the wall now. This is far from ideal. Definitely not at all how I wanted our reunion to go, but it's something. Maybe she wants me to push the issue. Do you want to talk about what happened?
No.
There's no hesitation. She doesn't even do me the courtesy of running me through with her eyes this time. Something new boils up now. Anger. It's not like she's tormenting me. What the fuck is the point of this? Then why are you here, Olivia? There's an edge to my voice, my volume risen by an octave once more. It's enough to make her look at me again, though her dour expression doesn't do so much as shift. It's enough to knock the wind from my sails. I take a step closer. I can't do anything if you don't tell me, Liv. Please. She looks away once more. A green hand rises to rub the back of her neck. Her eyes hood themselves for a moment.
Remember on the 3rd, a couple weeks back, you wanted me to come over and try to help you with fundamentals again.
I nod silently. I can feel the tiniest hint of a smile tugging at my lips. It was a nice memory. I hadn't actually gone any better at painting, but just having the opportunity to sit there quietly with her while she lost herself in the joy of teaching her art form, I didn't realize how much I missed those moments. She seemed to see my gesture out of the corner of her eye and continues.
Brought a couple of those good brushes over, especially the big flat one with the blue.
Oh, okay. The Veloci Maestro one? She blinked, looking over at me finally. In fact, I actually remembered what it was seemed to catch her by surprise. I'm going to turn the gain up on my microphone just a little bit. Truth be told, I had done my best to retain the rant of the importance of brush quality and the reason she preferred that particularly line. It was an expensive one she rarely got, but she did her best to make them last. I had hoped to get her a whole new set of them for Christmas. The aftermath of the formal killed that idea.
Yeah, that one.
She fell silent again. Discomfort flashed across her features before her face hardened. She closed her eyes and took a breath. Meanwhile, I could only find myself beginning to grow confused. Why in the world was she bringing up brushes?
I started a new project, and I can't find it at home. I think I left it here on accident. I was hoping you might be able to find it and give it back.
That's bullshit, but we'll roll with it.
I mean, excuses.
Yeah. Which is exactly why it's like, oh, that's bullshit. You're lying,
Yeah.
but it's fine. I get it. What?
It's games.
I'm dumbstruck. No doubt there's some stupid look frozen on my face. They really did. I don't know what to do, what to say. She can't be for real. I finally speak. My voice is barely above a mutter. Seriously? She wasn't looking at me again, but she nodded after a moment of hesitation.
Yeah, seriously.
You're just here for a brush.
I'm just here for a brush, Inko.
See, here's the thing.
We're gonna shave his head.
No. We had a stretch goal. Well, actually, hold on. You know what? How about this? You know what? Fucking, how about this? How do I customize this shit?
I don't know. How do you customize this shit? I've only ever used the internet since 1997, my guy. I don't know how to do anything.
Hold on. Hold on. Fine. Hold on. Fucking timeout. I can't see. Fucking God.
Dude, it's because you're not wearing your prescriptions.
Mom was wearing them. Why can I not set the hold on. What the fucking... No, because we had a goal. We had a goal for the finale of Wani, and it was if we could hit affiliate by the end of Wani, I would do it. I would shave my head. But you know what?
What?
Fucking, I can set that as a legitimate goal now, can't I? Because we are affiliates.
Yeah, you could have done it at any time. Why, are you shaving your head right now?
No. No. I'll set that up right now.
Okay, what's the goal?
It's a sub goal.
Well, yeah, but how many?
I don't know.
100 subs. He will shave his head.
You know what?
I mean,
yeah, it's like this is a real fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do. If you know what, you need to be prepared. If it does start getting closer to that, you have to stop and do it live when the 100th subscriber subscribes. I don't even care what you're doing. You could be playing Disco Elysium for all I give a shit. You're just like, we hit the subscriber goal for Snoot because I'm shaving my head.
No, because guess what? We'll still be fucking playing Snoot at that point. I can't change this shit.
Hey,
updating at
we
the end.
found the thing. Remember when we were talking with Joe and Joe was like, you gotta find that one game that you play so much and then people just kind of come to you. Yeah,
dude,
it's Snoot.
No, dude, believe me, that has been replaying in my head for the last month.
Yeah, it's Snoot.
Realizing Snoot is our thing. Like, this is our thing now.
Snoot is our thing.
We are now the Snoot guys.
I am so happy to be a Snoot guy.
And they do. They keep making mods, and it's good. Thank you, but like, I do want to play other stuff with Kerb sometime. You know.
Yeah, we will in between the Snoots. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. Snoot guys goes hard.
The Snoot guys.
You need to make an entirely new channel.
I'm not doing that. We got so lucky with we got so lucky being the size that we are. We're kind of still a small, very, very small, but like we got so lucky with Papa Pals now has like 620 views that I am not throwing that away.
You're like, oh hell no, because then the Snoot guys will be the main channel, and then my Jak Kid that I've been working on for 12 years.
Yeah, and then
just be fucking nothing.
Okay, look, I can't set it up right now, right? But you know what?
If we're gonna do Danganronpas.
Oh, we will be definitely doing a Danganronpas. If I'll say it right here, right now. If we hit 50 subs, I'll set it at 50. if we hit 50 subs and we're still doing Snoot game, I will go bald and I'll sit here and wear this outfit every day while we do Snoot game. Even if it's Anon, I'll do it.
No, if it's Anon, you gotta have a different coat.
Fine, I'll hop on Amazon and buy a fucking green jacket. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I guess I could be Anon, but I'm not shaving my beard. Yeah, see, he needs a blue jacket and green jacket.
Do I need a new jacket? Are we okay with this jacket? Because this is like $130 jacket, right?
Is it blue?
It is blue. It is my parka that I wear in the winter. I'm gonna have to start wearing it. It's getting fucking cold out again. It's like 40 right now outside.
It's lucky. It's like 80 degrees in this room. I wish it was 40 outside.
Okay, chat. Oh shit, hold on.
Also, I knew that we were gonna be trapped in VNs.
Yeah, you fucking did. Oh, this is like...
We gotta play How to Foot Boyfriend.
Hold on. Is anything about my actual like address being shown right now on screen? Yes, yeah, it is. It's right.
People of chat, is he doxing himself?
Yeah, I'm kind of doxing myself. Hold on.
I can safely say he does not live in Arizona.
Not yet. Maybe one day.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
He's trying to get here. He's trying to take over my house.
Okay, chat. Oh, are we feeling this? We feeling this for Anon?
I can't see it, so it's up to chat. Uh-oh, we got the
Oh, well, there's Inko, actually. Hold on, but there's fucking Inko's jacket. Oh, yeah, hold on. I mean, this is, like, Chinese. Honestly, I prefer for fucking... Okay, a dress shirt? Okay. Okay, hold on. Fucking literally talk about derailing. Fuck! I can't use Amazon!
It's too dark.
Wait, so you just want me to wear like a polo, like an open polo? I can do that. Okay, well, how green are we talking? Because like,
Oh yeah,
I have
it
like
is just kind of like a shirt.
Honey, I need you to show up again. Block my shit. Thank you. Block my zip code.
Yeah, and he has one
Okay.
collar popped up.
Okay. See, that's the thing, because I'm like, man, this is way too green now. I can't find like a happy medium.
Well, let me look at him again. Is it closer to like... I think it's like a shade up from like a military green.
Oh, hold on, man. I think I got it. Again, let me just let Honey hide my address real quick. Or my zip code. I think we got it. I think we got it. Oh, wait, shit. This isn't long sleeves. Fuck. Oh. Fuck it. We'll do it later. We're burning YouTube time.
But these are important chat things. Discord.
Discord? You found one?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's close to...
That's like lime green, though.
Yeah, but that's close to the green. And it is sleeve rollable. And it's a shirt, and then you just need like what? Oops. You just need like a
I don't think yeah, I'm not signed into my
Tannish.
I'm not signed into my
undershirt.
Walmart account. I can just show this whole thing. Yeah. Well, let me rename the fucking stream to Jack Goes Shopping.
Just
Fucking I don't know.
Jack becomes Anon.
There. Okay. We feeling that? Oh no, I kind of like how open this is.
Well, you're gonna wear a shirt underneath it.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, he wears a shirt underneath it.
Sorry, what?
He wears a t-shirt underneath the dress shirt.
Say the line.
I have said the line. Do you want me to say it again?
No, I'm just being very overtly gay on stream. Don't mind me.
Stop.
But girls too. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to like. Oh my! I'm gonna have to like shave every day. Shaving is such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm not shaving my beard. I need a bearded character to be.
I guess. Again, 50 subs. I'll say it right now. 50 subs. I'll do it.
Jackoon. You'd be Jackoon.
I say 50 subs and Kerb's just gonna hop in and give $250. I'm gonna have to run to the bathroom and buy a razor. Be like, fucking hell.
I mean, yeah, I could.
You could. I would very much like you to not.
I mean, if I'm gonna drop
I walk
a
into
ton of money on goddamn plushies,
I walk into work with like this much hair and everyone's like, yeah, that's just a Jack. And I'm gonna walk in next week completely bald and everyone's gonna be like, who the fuck's that guy? Where do we hire this goober? And I'm gonna be like, hey guys. Yeah.
what
so
if shaving your head changed your life for like the better in all aspects?
I'm gonna walk in. I won't shave. I'll look like fucking Walter White. I'll look like Bryan Cranston. Walter. Okay, okay, let's get back to the game. Her eyes whipped up at me as she used my name. Her gaze was hard, firm, but swiftly quivering. I noticed that she had begun to grip the armrests of the wheelchair tightly. Where the fuck is my mouse? It's over here on it. Oh, yes. Wait, where actually is my mouse? Hold on. There's okay. This is ridiculous. There's no way. She'd never do something like this. And yet, she absolutely would. I begin to realize. Because that's who she is. She really hasn't changed. It's the confrontation with Liz at the tower all over again. Once more, Olivia puts the smallest personal need before the thoughts of anyone that's close to her. Or at least used to be. Fine. I say after what it feels like an eternity. Ingo's so fucking dumb. Look at Olivia.
Remember,
she's eyeing.
Remember, I had said, even in the base game, that I was like, Inko's just kind of like, ugh.
Meanwhile, Olivia's just checking that out.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I'm so mad at him, but look at that ass.
Oh, god damn it, I missed that ass. Hold on, do I still have the fucking... Do I still have that screen capture?
Do you save screen captures?
I have a whole bunch of them right here. I'm just seeing if it...
Oh, Inkon. Inko is way dumber than Anon. Anon's just, like, sad. Yeah, and Anon was, like, paranoid. But Inko is just, like, oblivious.
I don't think I have it still saved. Oh, that's a shame. How do I still not fucking... How do I not have that saved? Oh, you know what? It's on the Twitter.
Okay.
On the Twitter, hold on.
I'm glad we got back to the game.
Shut up. This is still game related.
That was game related. We were dressing you up in cosplay. If we ever do cosplay, you get to be Inko. I'd rather be a non.
There we go. We'll just keep this right underneath here. We'll just
No
keep
idea
this
what it is.
right there, just in case. It's the line from Ending 1 where it says Inko is a bit stupid. But you know, it doesn't say stupid. But I think I've said enough buzzwords for today to, you know. Anyway, I say the word harshly, and I know this because she looks away from me with a frown. I'll go check my bedroom. Just stay here, I guess.
Yeah. Is that too quiet?
No, I heard you. I'm just,
Oh.
yeah. Okay. Not another word from her. Not even so much as a look. She turns in my direction, but wheels herself past me, seeming to move to go wait by the doorway. My eyes follow her for a moment, and it's all I can do to stare. I'm speechless. My heart's no longer beating out of my chest. It just feels like it's going to implode on itself. A disgusting, ugly, and poisonous feeling that I could only describe as the absolute definition of rejection saturates every inch of my body. My mic has once again become out of fucking sync. Hold on. There we go. Finally, I just shake my head. Step by step, I begin to make my way towards the staircase. Halfway up it, I pause, looking back in her direction one last time. She pulled out her phone. It seems oblivious to my existence. It's enough to make me continue the rest of the way upstairs. As I enter my bedroom, I feel the overwhelming urge to topple face first into my mattress and die there. This is a fresh hell, unlike anything I've ever experienced before. To go from such a soaring height of overwhelming hope to this indescribable misery, it's beyond fatiguing. The only thing that really stops me from doing so is the singular anger I feel for this fucking paintbrush. The literal tool that my ex-girlfriend holds at a greater value than me. I want it out. I want it out of my house, out of my life. I'm finally beginning to realize that I think I want her to go with it. But before long, I'm coming up short, because I can't find the damn thing anywhere. I thoroughly scour every possible inch of my dwelling, under the bed, in the covers, on the shelves, in my closet, here, there, everywhere. Before long, I've done an inventory of every part of my room, and I'm still coming up short. In desperation, I begin looking in locations that wouldn't make sense. By the time I open my third closed door and still come up empty, my growing frustration over the whole mess is enough to cause me to slam it shut. I bury my face in my palms for a moment, groaning to myself. I can feel tears starting to menace my eyes, and I just squeeze them tight with a scowl. No. She doesn't deserve that anymore. She's not worth it. Don't be weak enough to give her anything of yourself. Yeah, all these clothes I don't touch over my one singular uniform. I force myself to my feet, but as I do so, all the crouching I've been doing finally causes my phone to upend itself out of my pocket, flopping onto the floor with a dull thunk. The force is enough to catch it to activate, displaying my still open conversation with Damien. It occurs to me that it's probably a good idea to update him on the situation, and to pick up the phone and begin to type towards him. Hey, you still around? It only takes a few seconds before he begins to reply.
Yeah, what's up?
Olivia's at my house.
Huh? What did you? What?
The typing animation pops up and then disappears 5 times in rapid succession. It's just like, fuck this! Suddenly the phone erupts in a pickup tone as Damien's image spreads across the screen. I answer and begin to bring the phone up to my ear.
She's at your house?
I jerk the phone away with a hiss. Shit! Ow, dude, chill! Yeah, she's here.
When? You said you hadn't seen her when we talked, dude. We've been off the phone for like half an hour.
I bring a hand to pinch the bridge of my nose. Yeah, and I was telling the truth. She showed up at my door 5 minutes after you hung up.
Is she okay?
Oh, she's a bit cold. But otherwise, yeah.
It's Inko!
What? I'm still here. A garbled mess of blurred noise comes out over his end. Am I losing him? Hello? Damien, you there?
Inko? Tell you what?
I should have guessed the others might have run an update. Hey, Mr. Payne.
You sound like you've been through hell, Inky. You good?
I tried to do what dudes... No, not at all.
Yeah, probably should have guessed as much. Bobby, I gotta tell you a little story about propane and propane accessories.
Yeah? I don't think we have time for this.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
This is a long pause. I can hear him audibly sigh.
Why is Liv over there with you, son?
I can feel myself willed at his tone. He's doing his bit not to sound accusatory. I know he is, but fatherly concern is evident in his voice. She just showed up out of nowhere maybe 15 minutes ago, sir. She's not really saying much. She, was asking me to give her back a paintbrush.
She's there for a paintbrush.
Repeats my
Better
own
not
words.
be your paintbrush, Inko. I swear to God.
What? No! He repeats my own words back at me, his voice full of disbelief. Yeah, it caught me off guard too, sir. This sucks. I know how stupid I have to sound saying it out loud. It only reinforces how bizarre the situation is to me. He doesn't respond for some moments, before judging by his slightly audible breathing and a handful of other background noise, he's moving in his house. Finally, he comes to a pause.
What brush does she want, exactly?
It's a Versace. It's one of those expensive brushes she likes. This one's got a wide brush on it, black bristles.
Blue handle?
That makes me blink. Huh. Yeah, actually. How'd you know? Silence. Finally, he sighs.
Call it a hunch.
No, please just tell him, because he's not going to figure it out.
Promise me you're not gonna do anything stupid. Like,
You-
stick your dick in a molecular transporter machine or somewhat. I had a
Maybe.
kid do that once. His name was Bobby.
You know I won't,
Ankle?
sir.
I know. You're a good kid. I'm worried about Liv. Don't let her do anything stupid either, I tell you what.
I'll try not
Tell
to.
you what. If you need us to come get her, you know who to call. I like how the hang up just went to black. Boop.
I open my mouth to speak, but he hangs up. I put my phone away with a puzzled expression. That felt off. Like, there should have been more to that conversation. At least a proper farewell. Was it just a boomosaurus thing to end calls abruptly?
Boomersaurus.
Shaking my head, I shove my phone back into the pocket of my pants once again. I take a cursory look about my room one final time, thinking that maybe I might finally catch this
He
so
does
important
not get
painting
hints.
instrument. How does he
They
fucking not
slide
get it?
off of his fucking head.
This so important painting instrument among the clutter at long last. Only to come up short. Again. Whatever it isn't up here anymore. Seems Olivia came all this way for nothing. Like, I'll give it to the writers themselves. Yeah, no, it's spot on. It's great. We're just so aggravated with this fucking character.
Yeah, no, yes. I 100% agree. It's like, oh yeah, this is Inko, but then at the same time, I'm just like, my guy.
I want to fucking
My
punch
guy.
him. Like, something about the bitterness that's consuming me makes that a bit satisfying. But the satisfaction quickly faded. The bitterness lingers.
Did you have to let it linger? Look,
As I come downstairs once more, I notice that Olivia has moved further into the living room once more.
I decided to eat the paintings in here.
She's holding a piece of paper in her hands, staring at it, studying it like her life depended on it. She grips it tightly in her right hand, and her left is pockmarking?
Yeah.
I never heard that before.
Indents, making little indents in it.
Mm-hmm. Is pockmarking holes into the armrest beneath her claw tips dig in. There's no way she didn't hear me talking upstairs. Her hearing's always been too sharp for her own good. As I step off the last step and onto the floorboards, she glances up at me. She lowers the paper into her lap, and I can see the red lines coloring on it.
You kept this?
I just nod. Even after last week. I kept the other doodles you gave me, too.
Which ones?
All of them.
Why?
Joke's on you, we've been playing why this whole time! I can feel my pulse quicken. I clench a hand tight, rubbing my knuckles. I don't want to do anything stupid. I won't, but this is... You know why!
Fucking coming in. No, I don't.
She grumbles back, casting her drawing back onto the table.
I don't understand you. You've got no reason to keep this shit anymore. Why? Why not just get rid of it?
I don't want to get rid of it, Olivia.
It's just junk. It doesn't have any value anymore. Just throw it away.
No.
Why?
Because I still love you.
Why the fuck would you still love me?
As our voices raised, I had unknowingly stepped closer. Olivia was snarling at me, her whole body shaking with anger and frustration. Almost a mirror image to the furious quivering that had her engulfed her outside of the formal. She had braced her hands against the armrests and looked ready to launch herself out of her seat at any given moment. I was no better. My hands were shaking and I could feel the trails of tears trickling down my cheeks. I tried to open my mouth, but she pushed herself forward, jamming a finger up to me.
Stop fucking lying to me.
Her voice cracks as at whatever she was holding back was finally breaking free.
Don't give me this pity horse shit. I know I hurt you. Fucking admit it.
Yeah, you did. You walked away from me, didn't say another word, left me alone to come back for a... Ugh! Just because you're being a self-centered dumbass doesn't mean I stopped caring about you.
You don't mean that.
She hissed, her voice scrunched up in a pained sneer.
Thank you. Everyone else is turning their back on me. And you'll leave too. I don't need you.
Sorry, that's on me.
Don't you get that, idiot? I don't need you. Just let it go.
I don't want to be needed, Liv. I want to be...
God damn it, Inko. Just say we're through.
You really think I want that?
Maybe I do.
My hands clamped down on Olivia's armrests. Are you fucking stupid? Like me?
Yes, I am fucking stupid like you.
We were inches from one another. Eye to eye. Ragged breathing, emotional wrecks.
She could just literally bite him and tear his face off. Oh.
No. No.
Mm.
I don't know who lunged for the other first. The kiss wasn't our first, but it was by far the least pleasant. Our faces smashed together roughly, forcefully, the passion of the embrace causing us to discard comfort. Our tongues met as claws and hands grabbed upon the other's body, squeezing, grasping. I felt pain bud up from my shoulders as the baryonyx's talons dug through fabric and into my skin. We tried to mumble things towards the other in the fleeting spaces between kisses, lost in exchange for breath. Olivia came forward onto me. The two of us toppled onto the floor. We sat. We struggled against each other. It was a blur, like the fragments of a dream trickling in the back of my consciousness. Whatever else had happened today was gone. There was no tomorrow. There was just this. I wrapped my arms about her waist, squeezing her against me, burying kiss after kiss against her neck. I felt faint as I heard it and felt her breath within my ear, claw tips raking along my back, cradling my head.
Oh, I gotta do wispy, Randy. Inko, promise me you're not gonna do anything stupid. Stupid. I tell you what.
Look. I do my best to rein it in. There's fire riding under my skin, urging me to go forward. I just focus on breathing, eyes fluttering, struggling to stay sane. Pain blossoms against my stomach. I grunt, shifting. Something hurts even harder upon my chest. Shit, Liv! I lean away over to realize she's punching me, hitting me again and again in the torso. She flails her fists against me as her breathing hitches, harder and harder before my hands can find her wrists and force her to stand still. Before I can ask her to stop, she crumbles. The moment I release her arms, they wrap tight around me, clenching for dear life. She wails, crying freely now, curling closer as she hiccups and sobs.
God damn it, Inko. Why couldn't you just make this easy?
I am not an easy person.
No shit!
I don't reply. I don't know how. I just cradle her close, hands gently massaging the length of her back as I rock her until the fit subsides. Over the course of minutes, the crying diminishes, there are soft sniffles, and even that goes quiet after enough time. We sit there, tangled with one another, clinging to the... Wow, okay. This is a sentence. We sit there. We sit there, tangled with one another, clinging to the other, hearing each other's breath, feeling our hearts beat. Feels like
a
hours.
song.
Yeah. To the beat of your drum. Oh, what a shame that you... It feels like hours, but I've yet to move a muscle. I don't want to. I'm afraid this is going to fade away, and I'm going to wake up on the couch. I reach a hand to find one of her own. The moment I tug at her claw, her fingers wrap tight around mine and squeeze. I bring it close, feeling the cool flat of her hand against my cheek. I decided to break the silence.
Yep, I knew it. I was just gonna fucking say that.
I couldn't find the brush.
I know. It's not here.
What? Inko is quite stupid.
He's so fucking dumb. Fucking himbo. You're such a dumbass.
She mumbles, but her head only pulls a bit closer to my chest.
It's not here, Inko.
Yeah, I have it ready now. I have it ready now. It's my gun. It's going in the things I can quickly pull up. It's going in that folder. I might need that for later mods. I don't understand, Liv. Why go through all this? You could just have said you wanted to see me. Her eyes squeeze shut and her breathing hitches against. She presses her arm to my chest, and though her voice is rattled, she manages to speak.
I fucked up so bad, Inko. I fucked everything up. And I fucked this up with it. I can deal with disappointing others, having them be hurt, but I didn't know how to deal with you. It's just, I thought that if I came here, you might be like the rest, and I could just move on and let it go. I can deal with hate, but I The fucking drawings?
It breaks again, shuddering.
It's so much worse, though, because now I know you're not that, and I don't...
I'm not going anywhere, Liv. I could do a better line read. I'm not going anywhere, Liv. You've got me. Her eyes open, engulfing my world again. She sniffles, stammering as she tries to speak.
I want to be better.
I'll help you get there. She pulls closer, hiding against me, and I wrap my arms around her once more. She could pulverize me if she wanted to, but she feels so frail right now, like the shortest breeze would tear her apart. She won't let me go. Neither will I.
Yes, I will not let myself go.
I love that piano track so much. I used it for the final section of the recap episode special thing we did.
Okay. I have the Discord sound kind of low because sometimes stuff just like blares at me.
Oh, that's fair. But yeah, it's like this soft trilling piano. I believe it actually plays during ending 3, which was the last thing in the recap we did before doing ending 4.
Yeah.
So I had to like bleed over to it slowly during the title animation again. It's one of my favorite tracks off the soundtrack. That's probably it. Oh no, okay, we got more. I'd only realized that I only realized I've been drifting in and out of...
Spinosaurus has found us.
What?
The Spinosaurus has found us.
Okay, right, yeah. I only realized I had been drifting in and out of sleep when a vibrating hum against my right thigh, followed by a loud ringtone, finally stirred my eyes open. For the faintest second, panic gripped my heart, fearing that the whole thing had just been a dream of some kind, a fleeting fantasy of my dozing mind. The worry faded a second after, though, because I knew that the overwhelming warmth smothering my body, the scent of the sage-colored hair that filled my nose, it was all quite tangible, quite real. And so was she. As I leaned away just enough to orient my arm, I spied the briefest moment of her, peacefully asleep, softly snoring. It quickly vanished, for my ringing phone had begun to wake her, but the swiftness of the sight almost made it all the more precious. Grunting as I focused myself, I jammed my hand into my pocket and pulled my ringing phone free. Without bothering to glance at the caller ID, I swipe accept and bring the device to my ear. Hello?
Dude, what's going on? You haven't said anything for like hours now.
It's Damien. Of course it is. I blessed on my lips for a moment, still struggling to fully wake myself up. The baryonyx beside me grumbled as I shifted further away from her, the movement forcing her to come to as well. Smacking her lips, she flung herself up to under her knees. I can hear her grunt as she stretches, a soft pop coming from her back. Come to think of it, I didn't realize just how sore and out of sorts I felt as well. The passion of the moment had been enough to make me tolerate the floorboards, but they were far from supportive, and my everything was beginning to...
Inko, you there? Dude, you stopped talking for like 5 minutes.
Damien's voice snapped me back to reality. Yeah, I'm gonna can her grunt. I'm gonna just keep it in this can so I can have it forever. For a second, I really thought they were gonna do the joke of just Olivia just stands up and just walks away. But I'm like, no. This is far too serious for a joke. Shit, yeah, sorry. Everything's good. We've just been talking.
Talking. Is that why you sound like you just got out of bed?
Nothing like that happened. Come on.
Uh-huh.
I can hear him scoff.
Well, given you guys have been talking all this time, I'm gonna assume Liv's doing alright, right?
I glanced over at the
Oh,
gator
it's
in
so
question,
adorable.
who by this point had managed to get back into her chair and was in the process of settling in, shifting about to get comfortable. The fact she could do her little knee scoot walk with such a lack of noise would never not catch me off guard. Her eyes meet mine, I see the tiniest awkward smile upon her lips. I think she's doing good. It's been productive.
Mm-hmm. Productive, you say?
Not reproductive, Damien.
That kind of productive, huh? Mm-hmm.
Just-
I get what you're putting down.
Just reaches through the line and moves to Snoot like, no.
For real?
I can hear a bit of excitement creep into the Dillo Spino's voice.
Oh yeah, Dylan Spano. That's great, dude. Awesome. I'm gonna be an uncle. Oh well. I hate to like butt in on you guys patching stuff up, but mom and dad are getting a little antsy. They didn't like the word productive.
I have them on speaker.
I think it's time she comes home, if you don't mind.
Pushing myself to my feet, I catch a digital clock near the living room television. It was 4 minutes past 4 p.m. How the fuck is it this dark outside at 4 p.m.?
I don't know, it doesn't snow here.
Had we really been slumping on the hardwood for 4 hours? No, I get it. I didn't realize time had gone away from us so much. I live in Pennsylvania. I know winter. I know winter.
I live in the
Yeah, but aren't they like? I see. Yeah, but aren't they?
It's just wind.
Aren't they like Southern California, like kind of San Francisco-ish? If you know, U.S.
Okay, first of all, San Francisco isn't Southern California. San Francisco is actually middle Northern California. And I don't think it snows in San Francisco. I know it snows in Northern California, like around Donner's Pass and stuff like that, going towards Oregon. But nah, dude, it gets cold, but our cold is like 30. No, well, I guess 34 at night sometimes, but during the day, our cold is like maybe 49 degrees outside. And then the wind is just what makes it feel cold, so if it's not windy, it just feels nice.
I live in Pennsylvania. How am I supposed to know these things? Okay, all right, fine, sure, fine. I just thought 4 p.m. is a bit too early, but fine. I see I'm the odd one out here, so.
But San Francisco is close to the beach. Does it snow in San Francisco?
Close to a bay.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's still close to water. Because I know that Sacramento is higher than San Francisco and it doesn't snow in Sacramento.
I just always pictured it to be near San Fran, but
honestly, I assumed it was like more of LA area.
Hold on.
Like on the 101, Santa Barbara and shit like that.
Hold on. We'll go into Co-op's wiki. Where's the Goodbye Volcano High wiki?
Yeah, now, do not get me wrong though, because there are circumstances where it will snow. I mean, it has snowed in LA before. It snowed in Vegas before. Hell, remember I sent you pictures? It snowed here in Kingman. You know? And literally, it snowed like a foot. I was like, what's going on?
Literally, the best thing the wiki can give me is it's a continent of Pangea near a large body of water. Like, cool, thank you.
Yep.
Great.
Where all the seasons happen.
God damn it, Co-op. Fucking flesh out your stupid world. I want to know more about it.
But it still had snowed. I know I just heard about it one time. It's not like I've been there when it snowed. Honestly, when it snows, I'd rather go to LA area or any kind of SoCal like Bakersfield or up to Salinas because there's no threat of the snow. Not like going to New Mexico.
How do you spell Volcadria?
Oklahoma. Yeah, fuck, Texas snows up north.
Oh, hold on, here we go.
When I'm not in Texas, it snowed 3 times in my life. Yeah. What part of Texas? You don't have to give me like city, but is it like northern by the 40 or is it down south? Because I was driving coming up from Laredo to Springfield, Missouri when Texas had that large freeze, and it was frozen from I think Austin, or it was either Austin or San Antonio all the way up, and in Fort Worth is where they had that 150 car pileup.
Okay, so I found some answers on Reddit. Someone's saying Florida, someone's saying California, because in GVH it looks like Dino LA because someone's saying that they were able to take the screenshots from some people said they were able to take the screenshot that's used outside of Skid Row, outside of Anon's apartment. That's actually a place in Philadelphia. Not that I know. I don't go to that part.
I mean, it makes sense that it would be more northeastern, north. It could be northwestern, I guess, but more northeastern because of the way the buildings look.
So some people are assuming, okay, maybe Virginia Beach.
Yep, Skid Row.
That is true. Yeah, it is based off Skid Row, which isn't LA.
That's why I always call it Skid Row.
Yeah, you keep messing that up.
Or no, Skid Row. I call it Skid Row, not Skin Row. Yeah. But it's also because of the band Skid Row, man. I don't know what you want from me.
Someone's saying Seattle.
Ricky was a young boy.
Hold on.
Ricky was a young boy.
He had a heart of stone.
Lived 9 to 5 and he worked his way to the bone.
Yeah, you're doing 18 to Life. I always do Youth Gone Wild.
Fair. Don't they also do I'll Remember You?
I will remember you. That might be Poison. No, that is Skid Row.
No, it is not. It is Skid Row.
Okay.
It is not the Sebastian
I didn't mean Poison. I meant Motley Crue.
No, that's not Motley Crue either. No,
it is Skid Row.
That's not Vince Neil.
It is Skid Row. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll go from this dino game to start talking about 80s hair metal bands.
Wait, what do you mean? It's Volcadria Bluffs. Is it not Volcadria?
Volcadera?
Oh, is it Volcadera?
I mean, I like saying Volcadria. Is it Volcadera?
Is it Volcadera? Hold on, now we got hold on.
Is it Minnesota? Minnesota? Yeah, I know we say it like Volcadaria. Or whatever.
Oh, it is Volcadaria.
Volcadera.
Oh.
Huh. Well, I say Nevada and not Nevada. So there you go.
Volcadria. I'll hope we'll get back to her place, alright? Someone live on her own out once the sun starts setting.
Good man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for not just being like, okay, get home and talk to you later. You better hurry. The weather's getting crazy out there. You know that movie, It's a Wonderful Life? Yeah, you're gonna run into that.
No. But I know a Christmas Carol. Okay.
It's a Wonderful Life is like the Christmas movie. Where the guy learns like
I know.
at the end or some shit.
He learns nothing at the end. I've learned nothing. I still crave death.
It's a weird movie, man.
I wish I was never born. Huh, what do you mean? Before I can finish my question, my gaze goes through the window, only to see the state of the world outside. Yeah, I really can't stay, but baby, it's cold out. That song, we play that song at work during Christmas, and that song has some bad vibes, you know? Dark clouds cover the sky, dropping tiny snowflakes on the ground. Well, there we go. That's why it's so dark outside. It's the snowstorm.
Yes, that is why I said it was snowing.
It's snowing again. Inko is quite stupid.
Look at his face. Yeah, dude, winter's back. You just noticed it now? It's like Christmas Eve or some shit, or Christmas Day or something. I don't know. It's Christmas.
Must have started when we were dozing off on the floorboard. I just didn't see that coming.
Yeah, we didn't too. Not exactly happy about it. Still, it's Christmas today, so it's fitting that it snows. I told you it was Christmas.
Wait, it's Christmas today?
We had two Cryptmit. We had two Cryptmit mods.
But I thought it was Christmas tomorrow. I thought we were on Christmas Eve.
I think last night was Christmas Eve.
How long were we asleep? For 4 hours or 28?
For 10 days.
Oh no, I missed it.
Oh no. Are you gonna be okay going here?
Moving to the window, I observed the snowflakes falling on the ground in my yard. Judging by a very thin layer of white powder lying on the grass, it just started snowing recently. If we go now, there should be no problem moving Olivia to our house. Yeah, we'll manage. I'll see you at the house.
You too, see you.
I stuff my phone back into my pocket as I hang up, before taking the time to sling my arms toward the ceiling. My aching muscles scream as I bend my limbs, earning a hiss of effort from me. God, that was going to suck for the rest of the day. Completely worth it, though. As I move closer to Olivia, she gives me a questioning look. It was Damien. He was just checking in on us.
Figures. Uncle, Mr. Payne probably wants me back before they get started on their Christmas stuff. Holidays are always a big deal to him.
I'm probably more worried about you being safe than you missing the celebrations, Liv. She just shrugs, not raising an argument, but the way she looks away from me is all the hint I need. Come on, I'm gonna walk you back. More time for us to spend together. Sound good?
Okay.
Moving past the front door with her, I close and lock the door behind us. Okay, this song sounds right out of Earthbound. I know you don't know. I'm gonna play Earthbound for you one of these days. It's a very good game.
One day.
One day. When
After
we don't
Monster Hunter, and Danganronpa, and Shoujo, whatever, and Voices of the Void,
and Snoot game.
and Snoot game.
Maybe it was just because I hadn't stepped foot outside of the house for a week, but the fresh air is crisp and delightfully cool. Maybe a bit too cool. The dark clouds above us darkened the outside world, completely covering the sun. Snowflakes were gently falling down, landing on the ground on my jacket and on Olivia's Snoot.
Snoot.
Finally, someone says Snoot in the mod. Finally. Some thin layers of snow are already forming on the grass. The pavement, however, still resists, melting all snowflakes upon the touch. If it gets colder, it will be a matter of time before the snow starts gathering everywhere again. Soon we were on the streets, moving side by side on the rough pavement. Olivia didn't make much in the way of conversation, but I was able to distract myself by glancing at all the Christmas decorations that filled the yards of the neighborhoods we walked past. Most of them were your usual affair of holiday spirit. The outlines of... Oh, rain mammoths. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
the outlines of rain mammoths pulling sleighs, lit up with bright flashing lights, or stylized statues of Santa Crook. That's also good. One yard that certainly stood was a ratty, single-floor dwelling that had bought one of those 20-foot-tall human skeletons from Cave Depot.
Hell yeah.
The huge concert, you know, they just like, okay, we need things, and they just like had fun writing down whatever they could come up with. The huge construct towered above the rest of their cheap-looking decorations, clenching a bulbous styrofoam candy cane in one of its claws, a Santa hat resting ajar on its skull. Gawking at the beautiful bony boy, I nudge Olivia's shoulder to get her attention before she wheels too far away. Yeah, dude, I've seen so many of them.
I love them.
I'd have one, honestly.
I'd have like 5. They would be protecting my house.
She pauses, squinting up at me before looking over in the direction I was staring. She loudly snorted, a laugh soon erupting from her.
That's sick.
She giggled, pulling out her phone and snapping a picture of the colossal calcium kringle.
I'm definitely doing that when I get my own place. I'm gonna have 5 of them.
I couldn't help but notice it took her much longer than it should have to capture the photo, and soon realized that her phone was shaking. Rather, both her claws were rattling, and her tail was quivering to a similar beat. She's a dino, dumbass. She's clearly freezing. I feel a pang of guilt at what should have been such an obvious off-the-bat conclusion. Before Livy can begin to move her wheels forward once more, I shuffle behind her and rest my hands upon the support handles at the rear of her chair. She blinks and darts her snoot up at me, eyes thinned. Her mouth opens to speak. I know you gotta be cold, hon. Just stuff your hands in your hoodie and try to keep warm, okay? I pause before remembering the most important part of this little negotiation. Are you alright with me doing this for you? Her expression softened. A huff escapes her before she nods.
Sure.
So I say hun. I say hun all the time. It's cute.
Hun is like the only pet name-ish type of thing I will accept.
I begin to push her forward, smiling down at her, but right as I look away, I am forced to look back down as I feel, and then see her tail coil around my right forearm, the flexible limb gently squeezing me.
Thank you.
Anything for you. The tail squeezes a little tighter.
He might have also got it because his mother called him Hun, and it just stuck in his mind.
Yeah, that's true. We spent the rest of the walk to the tram station in silence. Something of a little game soon unfolded, where one of us would stare off at some sight, and then that had caught our attention, and we'd go about alerting the other. Olivia's tail would squeeze my arm, or I'd take a finger and gently tap the surface of the muscular appendage. Of course, more often than not, I was glancing around the mostly empty sidewalks. Yeah.
Well,
her not saying anything, it seems like... Yeah.
Yeah, well, cope Vic.
Her not saying anything is just affirmation that, yeah, everything's good. It's on the level. Peering at the corners of buildings that we passed, I couldn't help but feel protective of her, vigilant in this open public setting. Deep down, though, the irony wasn't lost to me that, of the two of us, she was by far the more deadlier. Those claws and jaws could mangle, and her body had a deceptive amount of strength to it.
She got that roll.
She do have that roll. The fact that she was as forceful as she was really drove home just how much she had risen above her condition. It also, to a degree, made me wonder just who Olivia could have been had the rest of her legs still functioned. Would someone with this degree of natural talent still be an artist? Would she have been a more outgoing, physical person like her god sibling? Would she still have settled for someone as boring as me?
You're not boring, you're just dumb.
I felt a frown begin to tug at my lips, and an echo of the bile that had been festering in me just the morning began to bubble to the surface. Ugly thoughts whispered into the periphery of my mind. Periphery. Yeah, I added an extra on there, didn't I?
The periphery.
Periphery. And yet, as I glanced down at her, hoping to just look at her, I found that she was the one looking at me. Staring up at me over her shoulder, wide-eyed and contemplative, as though making sure I hadn't gone anywhere.
Jack, meet me in the periphery.
There was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the periphery. Just like the first day we hugged when I brought her in from the rain. Something on my face? Yeah, frown, get it off. She rolled her eyes.
Smacks it with her tail.
Yeah. But then a smirk flashed across her features. Now that you mention it, there's kind of a mark on the side of my neck. On the side of your neck. Oh, this is supposed to be an Olivia line.
Oh. Now that you mention it, there is kind of a mark on the side of your neck.
Heat flashed in my face, a hand smacked up towards my neck, feeling about my throat like I was trying to swat a mosquito. Olivia cackled.
Really? Dude, you think you'd remember if I got you there, dummy?
The gator had fooled me. No more. I pushed her into traffic.
This gator has aided me no longer.
Arching my brow, I forced myself to retaliate with full gusto. I launched my counterattack. Literally so, for I launched her from the wheelchair and ran away. For I launched myself low and leaned down, planting a peck right on top of her snoot. Stirring, Olivia swatted me away with a claw.
Knock it off, weirdo.
Made you blush. I could hear her grumble, yet as I begin to push her forward once more, I could feel her tail coil a little tighter around my wrist. We reached the tram station without further incident, and found it to be largely deserted, save a couple of scattered people, each standing some dozen feet away from each other and us as they peered down at their phones.
Oh, Ho is here.
What?
You told me your name was Ho.
Oh, okay. No. I heard Poe, and I'm like, who the fuck is Poe?
No. Ho is here.
Train Ho is here.
Train Ho.
One by one,
My love.
One by one, they entered their own respective carriages as the trams came and went. She is not here.
No!
You have been robbed of Ho.
Mod already sucks.
Yeah, this is really well done. This is excellent.
Yeah, this honestly just feels like another route in the game.
By the time the one we had been waiting for arrived, the passengers upon it filtered out, and we entered to find that we had the transport all to ourselves. The silence continued to stretch during the first few minutes of our trip. Olivia looked over her shoulder, staring out through the bay window, watching buildings come and go, her only movements being the flicker of her eyes and a soft shake when the carriage rocked the both of us. For the most part, I was content to join her in the quiet sightseeing. The fingers of her wow, I'm stumbling over every line now. Her fingies of our closest hands interlocked with one another. It made the ride go by fast enough, and yet I couldn't shake the feelings that had started to creep over me, back on the sidewalk. And as much as I'd love to just block them out and not spoil the moment, another part of me knew well that this might be the last.
Okay?
No. I'm starting to feel the energy to constantly move my jaw this much, like go, and it's like, oh. So it's like kind of becoming like harder to like purse my lips to speak the words.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever the fuck you say, dude, I don't know.
I think you need some wine.
Call a bondulance, yeah.
Call a bondulance.
Bond's
name's the James. Oh, it's my favorite.
Another part of me knew well that this might be the last moments we have together, completely on our own for the rest of the day. I don't have one. I do have wine.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
This has to be my last one.
Oh, no, I know. I completely understand. We've been up for like 2.5 hours. This has been the nice lengthy one. We have kind of stretched it a bit, but yeah. This is a good one, yeah. For the next couple days, really. This wasn't a phone call conversation. It had to happen now.
Yeah, you gotta talk in person.
Olivia? I catch her attention, clearing my throat as I do so. Her eyes flicker over to me. She quietly tilts her head, a gesture for me to speak further. What are we now? The gator stared blankly at me for a moment, before she just looked down at our interwoven hands.
Oh, I love the movement.
Yeah, dude, it's... I hope there's so much more of it in the next game. Well, I think I think they're doing an RPG next, but whatever. I mean, we'll peek it. We'll definitely peek it. But whatever next visual novel they do, I really hope it has animations just like this. If not more, it helps so much. They're so good.
It just gives so much life.
It does. It does. When she looked back at my eyes, she did so with an arched brow. I furrowed my own in reply. No, seriously. We just sort of glanced over everything that happened last week. I think we should talk about it. About what it is us going forward.
We already did.
No, we didn't. We have to confront this. Her voice was already strained, and she began to look back towards the window.
I said I fucked up. I admitted that I was wrong. Isn't that good enough?
No, Olivia.
I don't know what else you want me to say, Inko.
Her voice had a certain edge to it when she cut me off. Some kind of weariness that she spoke with earlier. I could feel her fingers beginning to slip out of mine. Before she could fully reach away, I squeezed her hand tight and tugged on her arm, the motion being enough to get her to bring her eyes back to mine. I'm not saying you have more to account for. I hurt you too. I know I did. I could have done so much more. I should have, and there's no excuse for that. A look of uncertainty flashed over her emerald features. Uncertainty, but also warmth.
Inko, it's okay.
No! The volume in my voice startled her, causing her to shrink back a bit. It isn't alright. You're not doing something one-sided here. I'm not holding this over you. You're not the only person that did wrong. I need to improve. I want to, for you. But you gotta talk to me, Liv.
Dude, yeah, I've been trying to just watch her because there's so much movement going on.
I feel like he added some.
So much is smooth. And it's just like, I just want, be a TV show. Let me look at the person. And like, I'm worried I have to keep going down and being like, oh shit, it's my turn to speak because I'm staring at her goddamn face.
It's a pretty face to look at.
Eyes widen, her pupils shrank, just her looking away, looking back. Fucking, the smile, that was a smooth smile creeping up. Just, it's fucking,
did they not add more? It feels like, I don't remember there being this much of it in the game. Like, this many different emotions for it.
I don't know if they added more. I don't know if they just took more from different moments on the train. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but a lot of it's been so fucking smooth.
I don't know how the scene works in the base game. I'll have to, look into that. But, yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It helps so much with the scene.
Oh, man. Can you imagine if someone did a mod where just movement was a major thing?
Oh.
Holy shit. I know it'd take a lot,
that takes so
but just
long,
that fucking dedication.
The Baryonyx's expression became clouded, a frown forming about her snoot.
Yeah, see, that was just fucking smooth.
Yeah,
Guys, just moving. You see what I'm saying? It's
someone had an emotional breakdown while coding this.
Dude, I would be honored to be a person having a goddamn emotional breakdown. Just for this, holy shit.
Her tail flickered softly, shifting about as she delayed. But then, slowly, her other hand came to grasp over mine, and likewise, I brought my own free hand to grasp in it in turn.
Are you talking about Train Ho?
I'm not sure how this works. I'm really curious, though. I'll look into it.
Oh, no. Isn't the train car an invisible NPC that bobs up and down? Okay.
I could believe that,
I thought you were talking about an NPC. I was like, yeah, Train Ho.
Yeah, it's just a background that's a bit bigger than the camera screen. And yeah, they just have it set to kind of just slowly circle. Probably. I'm gonna look at the code for this real quick. Well, we'll continue, but I'm gonna try and steal glances as we go. Our palms held one another, like a little seance as we began to exchange truths.
Some of the things you said that night, it really pissed me off. I think maybe the best call would have just been to let me cool down, get it out of my system, When I get angry, I lash out. I can take things a bit worse than they really are.
She rolled her shoulders, gently squeezing my hands.
I think you overthink things more than you should, encouraging me to go back up on stage. You're kind of farsighted at times.
Oh no, this is further on. This is way further on. Oh my god, we got so much more to go. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're in the final chapter, I'll tell you that, but like...
Don't really know when to notice the obvious.
Like the fib about the brush? A little frown slowly turned into a guilty tiny smile. She managed a meek laugh.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I just nodded, motioning for her to keep going. Olivia took a hard breath before she looked me dead in the eyes, tugging on my arms a little to ensure my focus was completely on her and kind.
I don't want to give this up. I want us, to work out. It's the first thing that's sort of gone right in a long time. I can't promise it'll be, easy. I'm gonna need patience, and I'll try to give it to you too, even if it can be hard for me to manage that. Is that what you want, too?
There's no hesitation on my part. I've never been more sure of an answer in my life. You know I do. She just smiled. That warm, beautiful smile. It made something jump and take flight inside me, like butterflies in my stomach. I nudged my head a little closer, nodding towards her. So, boyfriend and girlfriend again? She snorted.
God, Ingo, yes. You're such a dork.
You dork.
Go back. No, I guess maybe it just... Go back one more. Okay, go forward. Okay, yeah, it just went whoop. I wanted to say... what's being smooth or not.
I say, squeezing her fingers once more. Olivia only huffed in reply, but as she pivoted to settle in for the rest of the journey, rather than look out the window, she instead leaned against me, her head upon my shoulder. Despite myself, I allowed my head to lull against hers, our noggins meeting halfway with a gentle thump. In the corner of my vision, I could see her peering over at me. After some minutes of content silence in the presence of each other, Olivia was the one to speak further.
What are your plans for tonight?
I guess sleep on the couch? I blinked. I hadn't really considered as much, given I had spent a week sulking and isolating myself like the world's most millennial hermit. Probably just going home for the night once I get you dropped off. I'll have to figure out something to keep me busy. Might rent a movie or something.
Your parents aren't home again, even now.
I sighed, knitting my brow. Nah, some kind of business trip. Came up last minute. They said they'd try to be back in time for the holidays, but... I just shrugged, laughing softly.
Sucks, Ingo. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
It is and is what it is.
I say, borrowing her own bitter words from earlier today. I'm used to it at this point. I could see a frown at that. One of her claws raised to rub my forearm, pulling the limb a little closer. Her eyes flickered away. She was clearly thinking about something. Whatever it was, it never came. For the last few minutes, trickled by before the tram finally slowed to a crawl at a stop, and the door swung wide for us to exit. By the time we left the tram, the snowfall intensified even more so. The wind began to blow a cold air, freezing the world. It was getting darker with each minute, causing street lamps to flicker the life across the suburbs. The glowing Christmas ornaments helped in illuminating the world, giving us pretty sights on our way. We didn't let the weather stop us, marching forwards towards our destination. When we finally arrived at Olivia's house, the whole neighborhood was already snowbound, perhaps even more than a week ago. Once we approached the yard, I let go of her wheelchair handles, allowing her to move the rest of the way unaided. As we walked onto the porch, Olivia paused, seeming to glance back at me, like she was checking if I was ready for this.
Big hug.
I did my best to give her a reassuring smile, leaning down to hug the olive-skinned artist. She reciprocated the embrace, squeezing me tight. I'm glad you came to visit today.
Me too.
I'll come back as soon as I'm able to, okay? She leaned away, giving me a look before she quietly nodded. Olivia took a deep breath before she leaned forward and rang the doorbell. I could barely hear the faint reverberation of the doorbell within the house's interior before I heard something, or rather, someone, come rushing up to the doorway. The right door swung out, revealing the tense form of Damien. He pogs.
He pogs.
You know what? I have emotes
What?
now. Oh, wait, shit.
Screenshot taken. I want you hug that gainer.
Well, I mean, that'll work. I'm gonna fucking make Damon pogging an emote.
Do it.
Can we still do that? Because the guy who... we'll see. I'll look into that later. His frills were on full display, and his eyes were wide.
Live!
He cried
Too
out.
close to the mic now for Damien.
He cried out, practically falling on top of the poor girl in his haste to hug Olivia. The gator gave a cry, startled laughter erupting out of her as he did her best to ward her god sibling back.
Alright, Tor, calm down.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Vinny, it's nice to see you normal again. After yesterday's...
Hey, did you know that I was in a weird mod and then I got bullied by some weird wolf girl that was a dude that was from Hunter x Hunter?
Man, Vinny, you sure do play weird video games.
Yeah!
The name was like a dinner bell, summoning up the rest of the pack.
Olivia, you're back!
Okay,
Fuck out of the way, Inko.
Fuck you, made-up bitch. With some completely
We
unintelligible...
know you get cucked and why.
With some completely unintelligible cry of joy, Vinny had... Oh god, we're gonna have to record that. Vinny had come sprinting up, squeezing
Yeah.
past Damien as he hurled himself on top of his big sister. The little Spitfire babbled a million miles a minute as he squeezed his green sibling. I couldn't understand a single word of it, and Olivia certainly couldn't either, but she hugged him back all the same. The forms of Mr. and Mrs. Payne weren't far behind. They briefly gave me a glance, enough to acknowledge me, but it was enough for me to see the overwhelming relief upon their muzzles. Olivia was engulfed by that at this point, the whole group joining in to hug their errant daughter.
Oh, Ace.
I could hear Randy mutter, doing his best to hide the worry in his voice.
Don't do that again, please.
Olivia looked completely overwhelmed. Tears were budding upon her eyes, but they weren't bad. Just looked happy. Too happy. So flooded with care and warmth that she wasn't quite sure how to handle it. I just stood off and to the side, staying out of the way as the family welcomed back a part of their group and they had lost for the last week. She had been in the house, and now she was actually a part of it again. For me, that was enough. Oh, what was my I think it was like this. I'm glad you're back. I was so worried. Thank you, Inko. Vinny, let's go inside. At some point, Sophia had stood, tugging Vinny with an arm and ushering him back into the house. The great group hug was finally dissolving, but Randy and Damien had kept themselves stooped.
Stoop.
Olivia was muttering something to them, Damien chiming in once or twice. I couldn't make out what the whispers were saying, but it seemed positive. At least I hoped as much. You will be dinner, Inko. We won't take no for an answer. I cleared my throat as I saw the pained patriarch and his son turn to face me, offering them a wave. Hey, it's nice to see you all again. Hope you've been doing well.
You too, Inko. Thanks for getting her back to us. It's gotta be the second or third time by this point, right?
Ah, who's keeping count?
I'm keeping count, Inko.
Oh,
I
okay.
always keep count.
I chuckled. I waved again, beginning to step back. I won't keep you guys. I'd like to...
Where do you think you're going, son? Get your ass in this house. We bought you a fucking plushie or some shit. Better open that damn present.
I freeze at the elderly Dilophosaurus's words. It takes a second for me to connect what both they and his growing grin meant.
You didn't think we were just gonna make you leave on Christmas Eve, did you? I thought it was Christmas Day.
No, I guess it's still Eve.
Oh my lord.
I really don't want to impose.
Inko, you're a part of this, and that's final.
Okay. Randy gave me a grin.
This is a kidnapping, boy.
Oh. Well. Before nudging his head back towards the door.
Come on, we're letting the cold in. Inko, didn't you know that it's a very special day for dinosaurs? It's where we actually finally get to have a taste of human meat.
We each get to take a person and we eat them.
Thank you, Olivia, for bringing us this year's dinner.
Good catch, Olivia. Way to go. Alright, Inko, we're gonna have you for dinner. Oh, thanks, but I'm not really hungry. No, Inko. We're going to have you for dinner. Oh. Randy disappeared into the interior of his house. Damien lingered long enough to give me a grin, reaching out a fist for me to bump. The turduckman, that's really good.
Duckman.
I sluggishly returned it, still a bit stunned by the reality of what was happening. As the son moved to follow the rest of his family, I was close behind, joined by Olivia, who smiled sweetly up at me. By the time I closed the door behind us, her hand had come to hold mine once more. The interior of the Payne residence had undergone a Christmas metamorphosis.
Yes, one wreath and a tree. Oh, no, there's some holly stuff down there.
Yeah. Garland ropes hung above the shelves, a great tree being erected in the living room. I don't know, maybe. Covering in the flashy ornaments of varying age. A nativity scene displayed a hatching raptor Jesus surrounded by three wise theropods looming above the fireplace.
Well, we don't see the fireplace, so...
Some Hall Club movie was playing on the background, barely audible. I didn't even try to figure out which one it was. They were all the same.
Yeah, no. It would just be strewn with Christmas decorations. I'll be right back.
While Olivia moved towards her room, no doubt to stow her chair for the time being, I navigated towards the kitchen. A heaping smorgasbord of different cuts of meat have been laid out across the dining room table. Some slow-cooked, some fried, there was even some barbecue.
There was a large space in the middle. I was wondering if they had already eaten what was there.
I was gonna say, Mom? Is that you?
Mom. Oh no. We heard about your problem, son, and we've decided we're going to adopt you. The only issue was that we had to get rid of your parents. Sorry you couldn't have any of your father, but the game one didn't have a model for him anyways.
Yeah, we got plenty of your mother left if you want some. One note as the carnivore variety was, it smelled fucking delicious. Something probably egged on by the fact I hadn't eaten actual food in nearly a week. You are a fourth god, kid. As I began to pile my plate up with some sweet ham, I took the time to grab a second plate and smother it with a bit of everything. The formal had educated me on the gator's complete lack of a want of elegance when it came to dining, and I assumed that, considering she had been out of the house for over half a day, she was probably starving.
Gator girlfriend, are you starving?
My hunch was reaffirmed by Damien as I sat down on the living room couch, picking out an unoccupied edge piece of the furniture that would provide enough room for Olivia to scooch up beside me. Upon seeing my initiative, he offered me a thumbs up.
You'd catch on eventually.
Yeah, probably should have listened to you back in that line.
Hey, all that matters is that you're figuring it out now. It's nice to have you back here, dude. You are my new brother.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to, you know, not be alone. Your parents aren't around again? Yeah, honey, I told you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sophia had spoken up.
Oh, right, we ate them.
Oh, yeah. We eat so many humans, it's hard to keep track of anymore. Sophia had spoken up. The blue matriarch rounded a corner from the kitchen. She settled into a recliner on the opposite side of the room, and Randy wasn't far behind, sitting in a similar seat beside his wife. I shook my head, putting Olivia's plate down on the couch as I rubbed the back of my neck. They were off on some business trip. They said they might be back in time for Christmas, but I ain't heard from them, so... That's strange. Anyway.
Maybe we should eat those goddamn humans.
Mr. and Mrs. Payne both scowled as my voice drifted off.
That just ain't right. It's Christmas, for God's sakes.
He sighed, shaking his head.
Sorry, son. You're always welcome here.
Speaking of being back here, Sophia chimed in, leaning forward a little bit. He did say the line. She nudged her snoot off of the direction of Olivia's room. Are you two... She mouthed the last words quietly, though both Damien and Randy...
Yes. Fucking?
Caught on.
Maybe.
Peering at me expectantly. I felt a little intimidated, if I'm honest. Nothing like having your girlfriend's parents and brother directly asking about your relationship status. I quietly nodded a yes, awkwardly grinning.
Oh yeah, that's an awkward grin.
Yeah.
Fucking shitty and grin, smug motherfucker.
Damien clapped his hands together and let out a woo.
Woo.
Sophie and Randy just both chuckled, nodding to one another.
Told you. It was all that paintbrush.
Glancing back at me, he jammed a finger off towards Olivia's room.
Found your missing brush, in case you were wondering.
Oh, is that where it's been? I didn't know.
Oh, it was in the room where it was supposed to be?
She mentioned as much, yeah. I'm glad you two figured it. You're good for one another.
Me too. I am also good for one another. Would have made lunch plans really awkward this year if you hadn't. You know I can hear you guys, right?
The room paused.
I, the Olivia.
The room paused as eyes swiveled towards Olivia, who came shuffling into the living room.
She was as gorgeous as ever.
Yes.
In her flaming skull t-shirt.
We bought it now on somewhere. I forget what the website is.
Oh yeah, from the Caveman Insight.
Yeah. I need to buy their shirts. We're
just sick of shirts.
Yeah, but I need them. We're just glad you and your boyfriend are back together, dear. We're just glad you and your boyfriend are back together, dear. I don't know why I was just feeding that to myself. Olivia groaned.
Annie, stop. You're gonna kill me.
Shuffling the rest of the way, Olivia popped herself up onto the couch next to me.
It's more like she popped herself on your lap.
But not before spotting the plate of meat and maneuvering it out of the way.
Thank you.
She muttered, nudging my shoulder as she shuffled close. The rest of the holiday dinner slowly began to speed by, quicker and quicker as the minutes dragged on. The focus gradually bled away from our reunion, returning to more fitting discussion of the evening. Randy and Sophia sharing stories of the relatives and their own childhoods, cracking jokes at Damien, Vinny, and Liv. The food gradually disappeared, the empty plates along with them, but the conversation stayed. I remained quiet for the most part. I think part of me was afraid I had somehow ruined the moment, content to be a fly on the wall. Something that the Paynes, by contrast, weren't content to allow. No matter how much I tried to sink into the background, they drive me... Oh my god. I tried to sink into the background, they dragged me right back in, asking questions about where I had come from, what I did for fun, stories of holidays at my household, or at least what they used to be like. Each time the spotlight had drifted to me, Olivia's hand always managed to find mine, her fingers squeezing my palm reassuringly, giving me the courage to not be a total social fuck-up. As an hour passed, and another hour after, Olivia remained close. She had come to wrap her arms around my own, her head leaning up upon my shoulder. Lost in the moment as I was, I scarcely noticed the dull hum of my phone chiming in my pocket. Flicking it out, a surprise awaited me. It was a text from Mom.
Oh, yeah, I'm Mom.
You are Mom.
You doing okay?
I flick open the messenger app and begin to thumb a reply, only to pause. I look down at the beautiful thing leaning against my shoulder, and a better idea blossoms. Switching to the camera, I angle the phone to capture the both of us, grinning down at the lens. Far from the best shot, but it'll do. But it'll do. There's nothing for a moment after the picture goes through. Only for 3 words to hum into being.
Told you so.
I want this to be Inko's mom. Can this be canon, please?
I told you already I consider pretty much everything canon, so it is Inko's mom.
I just...
In my head.
Like, because this just makes me feel like, yeah, they are busy, but they do care, like, very much so. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
please
see?
give
Canon
this to
until
me.
proven otherwise, but
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be fanon. I have no problem with it being fanon.
I can feel a smile tug at my lips. Only to freeze as I realize that, in the picture, Olivia's eyes staring straight ahead, right at the camera. I glance to my left, only to find her waiting for me, eyes half-lidded.
Smooth, Inko. Real smooth.
She says, trying to sound annoyed, only to crack. A soft giggle escapes her as she shakes her head, nuzzling her cheek against mine.
Oh, all right.
Before I could settle back into the blissful time warp that was bonding with your girlfriend's family, Randy suddenly leaned forward, smacking his hands together as he raised his voice.
It's getting close to time to tuck in, so you know what that means. Well, yep, one present for Christmas Eve.
Vinny let out a cheer. Damien pumped a fist in the air, and Olivia leaned away from me, a look of excitement creeping over her.
Yeah, see, my family is like this family.
Wandering over to the tree, Randy scooped up a handful of presents, tossing them towards the children of the Payne household one by one. A big, gold-wrapped box smacked against Vinny. Fucking bounced off his head.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, that's very true.
Here you go,
know.
you fucking shit. But yeah, that is, yeah. I was gonna say, because everyone forgets that, like, Inko's dad has one single line in this game. And it's in E1. Sucks, but, like, hey, you know, it's there.
Yeah.
While Damien and Olivia managed to intercept their respective gifts, a blue-wrapped cube and a red and white swaddled box, respectively. I, of course, remained woefully giftless.
Sorry, Inky. We weren't too sure if you'd be making it is all.
I just shake my hand. My head even, waving off the old Dilophosaurus. You guys invited me in. That's more than enough, I promise. Olivia's movements have become sluggish at this little exchange. A pensive look had crossed her features, her gaze locked on the floor. She was gripping the wrapping paper of her present a little too tight. Before I could ask her what was on her mind, and before Randy could reply to me, Vinny suddenly leapt up to his feet.
Oh, hey, he's got a gift. Liv could still give him that painting she made. I kept the pieces after she tore it up. I also kept all the macaroni art that she broke of mine and just made one really big one.
A big macaroni.
Yeah, just one big macaroni made of macaronis.
Yeah.
It's hanging from the ceiling right over his head, so he knows that anytime that he just needs a quick escape, he just cuts that string. What?
The room froze. Olivia's face went pale white. Damien's eyes had become pins. Yes?
Just Damien turning towards her with those fucking eyes, just like, excuse me, you painted?
What? When did you start doing
When did
this?
when did you start painting?
What the fuck? Why did no one tell me? Damien, buddy. Damien's eyes have become pins, flicking between his siblings, his god sibling, me, and his parents. Randy and Sophia had looks of horror on their faces.
Oh my
Who
God.
else but Damien?
Randy, what the fuck?
The astonishment and embarrassment froze on Olivia's muzzle had begun to warp into something ugly. She's gonna fucking kill Vinny.
With that giant macaroni.
Yeah, a genuine anger, something resembling her outside of the formal, was bubbling out. Her mouth opened to speak, and I planted my hands on her shoulders, directing her to look at me. It's okay, I say softly, doing my best to reassure her. Olivia quivers, fear and frustration swimming in her wide eyes, but she manages to swallow hard and slowly nod. Crisis narrowly averted. Animated by the nearly averted outburst, Sophia and Randy move towards Vinny.
Tackle him to the ground.
You're under arrest.
Come on, Spar. Let's go see what this is in your room, alright? But I wanted to show Liv and Damien what I got. God damn it. It's an avocado.
Fucking,
Thanks.
it's the fucking cops from, oh my God, Jeff the Killer. All right, kid, that's a even juvie for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to jail, boy.
You're going to jail, boy.
The little hellion seemed oblivious to the terrible threshold he had unknowingly crossed.
Well, he's a kid.
You can show them later.
God damn it. Mother, you do not understand.
As the two began to lead their youngest back to his room, she glanced over her shoulder, giving the both of us an apologetic look.
Sorry he's a child.
Yeah. Damien hissed, running his claws through his hair.
Younger brother. Well, good thing Inko's here to be my new younger brother. We can finally get rid of him.
Yes.
Liv, I'm so sorry. You good?
She didn't say anything. Her body was trembling. When I looked at her, she looked back with flushed cheeks and wet eyes.
Inko,
Whatever it was, it's alright. Doesn't matter anymore. Let's just focus on tonight, okay? She drew in a shaky breath before nodding slowly.
The only gift I need is for you to just snuggle up with me.
Yeah. The only gift I need is you. Following Vinny's unfortunate outburst and misplaced optimism, the rest of the night began to pick up speed once more, as though trying to distance itself from its close brush with chaos.
Vinny is dead.
Yeah, we have killed him. We have chained him to the radiator in his room. Randy and Sophia eventually returned for a time, without Vinny, who had been left to romp in his room. Damien unwrapped his present, revealing a stylish new t-shirt. Olivia, after some hesitation, opened hers to find an ornate black-covered sketchbook. She spent some time oogling the new addition to her hoard of similar books, picking up the material of the cover and the texture of the paper within. Randy and Sophia only lasted for a spell longer, before they eventually rose and moved to retire for the night.
He's giving us there.
Before parting, Randy said nothing but gave me a look. The look. His words from earlier in the day on the phone echoed in my mind. I offered him an understanding nod, a silent vow that, yes sir, I solemnly swear I would not get up to any mischief under your roof. Yes.
I raised my hand where my crossed fingers were.
Fucker boy. I'm gonna
Olivia
fuck that
also raised her hand with crossed fingers, but Damien had two hands with crossed fingers, negating our crossed fingers, and we must obey Randy's rules.
You always gotta keep them ready, kids. Just like, ha ha. Like a fucking It's like your Uno plus fours. You never know when you'll need them. Hopefully. Damien persisted for an hour or more longer, challenging the pair of us to back and forth deathmatch in Rock Ring. What followed was a display of my gamer skills. Lack thereof when compared to Olivia. Whenever I was forced to enter the arena, I'd last for all 3 minutes before Damien had wiped the floor with me and reached the required score. Whenever the once champion of the arcade took the controller, though, it became a far more surgical, slow-paced slugfest, trading kill after kill.
That was bullshit. Your hitbox is totally bugged at the neck. Sounds like a skill issue. I told that to my father. I have become the new generation. I forgot what we were talking about, but he said he couldn't do something, and I was like, yeah, it sounds like skill issue.
Yeah, skill issue, I guess. Get fucked, idiot.
Whatever you say, elite preferred species.
Complete gibberish, a million miles over my head. Slowly, though, match by match, the two competitors began to peter out. Before long, Olivia stopped swapping with me entirely, content to watch me get creamed by Damien over and over again while her eyes began to droop. The lack of a challenge seemed to drain the half-bed in turn, where he finally flopped the controller on the couch cushions and stood up with a yawn.
Alright, I'm beat. I'm gonna try and get some sleep. You should too. Up early tomorrow and all. Not me. God, my parents tried to wake me up. It's Christmas, and I'm like, yeah, well, the presents are gonna be there when I wake up. They're not disappearing because I don't get up at 5 in the fucking morning. I am no fun.
No fun?
No fun. There's some blankets and pillows over in the basket by the corner, Inko. You get to sleep under the tree.
Hell yeah.
Don't do anything dumb.
I know.
If I'm gonna do anything dumb, it's with you, Damien. Oh.
Damien smirked, waving to the both of us as he wandered off towards his room. Left to our own devices, Olivia gently nudged me.
Into my room.
No. Good night. Just sleeps.
Yeah. Bye.
Sure thing. Yeah.
Ow.
I scooped up the sleepy... Oh, you're just throwing
Yeah,
words at
see,
me
that's
now.
what I was thinking. He sleeps under the tree because he is the gift.
I scooped up the sleepy Spinosaurid.
Yeah, I
and
love the moments in this house.
And escorted her
Just
back
good
towards her
family.
room. Navigating through the dark of the silent house with relative ease, I still think of our dumb bit where it's like, we must thank the house for letting us live in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, house. So good. I didn't bother to turn on the lights once I passed through her doorway, moving forward. Only to pause as the door shut behind me. I certainly hadn't touched it, but understanding dawned on me as I felt Olivia's tail shifting slightly. May have just been a reflex out of habit. Hold on. Let me quickly open the script to make sure it does not have the word penis in it. Control F, penis. No results, we are good.
It is indeed. Does not contain the word penis.
How about
Thank
member?
you. What is this called?
Spinning her
Making her
wheels.
wheels spin her wheels? Yeah. Thank you, Spin Her Wheels, for not containing the word penis within your dialogue.
Sometimes you gotta make sure. In the
It just-
murkiness,
Last 5 minutes is just total fucking NSFW.
total fuck, just complete fuck fest, and it's like, oh,
Randy
glad-
comes in and it's just like, oh, you kids.
you kids, I'm getting the macaroni.
The macaroni.
Randy comes in holding the big macaroni. In the murkiness of the room, I could spy the outline of unfamiliar changes, kept concealed by the lack of light.
Wow, your room hasn't changed in like the week we haven't talked?
Yeah,
What have you
fucking what are
done
you?
with your life?
Yeah, Jesus, God. Recorders were messed up, more than usual at least. Between what Damien had mentioned over the phone this morning and Vinny's remark earlier, I could pick up enough to make sense of it. She hadn't taken out her frustrations on her own creations. Not the best coping mechanism, but it couldn't have been much, much worse. Shuffling towards her bed frame, I gently lower the tired theropod onto her mattress. I lean down further, planting a kiss on her forehead. A hand manages to find one of her claws, and for what I think is to be the last time tonight, I give her a squeeze. Well, okay, night, Liv. See you tomorrow. I turn to walk back towards the door, and something grabs into my wrist, holding me in place.
Come here. Come here.
God.
Get over here.
Oh, God. There's a tone in her voice that makes me feel...
squirrely? Oh, one of the test questions was like, what will distract you while driving? And the first answer of it was squirrel.
Squirrel.
Just squirrel.
Every time. Squirrel. Olivia. I slowly step close to her. I can see that she's rising, propping herself up with her free hand. She abruptly tugs my arm, impossibly hard, using that brute strength of hers to send me toppling onto the bed back first.
Telling you straight NSFW now.
Before I can do so much as move, Olivia's on top of me, straddling my stomach. Her claws come to find my wrists, pinning me beneath her. Her gray eyes are faintly visible as a glow in the dimness of the room. Liv.
Smooch.
I try to speak. She cuts me off with her lips, pressing hers to mine. It's forceful, but not quite as violent as she had met earlier today. She squeezes her body against mine, using her weight to keep me where she wants me. Despite knowing well that I'm getting lost in the movements of her tongue against my own, I keep trying to mumble to her to say something. It's enough to get her to pull back, only to dip her mouth lower. Her snoot comes to my neck, but it's not lips that touch my throat this time, but teeth. Oh, hello. Goodbye.
Okay, you got it before me.
I feel a chill run down my spine as the points of her fangs prickle my skin.
Shut up.
Okay. Yeah, the glasses stay on during sex.
Yeah, the glasses stay on. You didn't get a gift earlier. You're getting one now.
Let me just recheck that script.
I'm telling you, she started going down, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Maybe they just don't. They use safe words. She stroked my dingle hopper.
Shut the fuck up.
She goes turning into spears. Yeah, I didn't know my night was gonna get this sexy before bed. Uh-oh, he's stunned by reality. Oh, there goes gravity!
Wait, hold on. There's an entire comment here. There's an entire comment here that's entirely sectioned out, right? But it's written to be like the actual script. So let's see here. I'm frozen, stunned by the reality of what's unfolding. Pulling back, Olivia leans up, continuing to hold me down with her body. I can feel her thighs upon the sides of my torso, her tail constricting one of my legs. Her hands lower, fingers tucking beneath the hem of her shirt and raising it slowly. My face is engulfed in fire. My eyes must be wide as eggshells. I can't quite make out what color her bra is, but it's dark, maybe black, maybe red. All I know is that it's there and the rest of her flesh is on full display. You don't get it. You didn't get a gift earlier. This is it. And that's the end of the comment. Oh, that's from the original fic? Okay. Okay. Alright. So anyway, back to the actual thing. I'm frozen, stunned by the reality of what's unfolding.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Fuck up. With great care, Olivia lowers herself onto me, my mind's awash, swimming as I feel the softness of her scales pressing against my skin.
Damn.
Her claw tips trail soft lines up the length of my arms as she reaches for my hands once more, squeezing them harshly as her lips finally reach mine once more. It's becoming more difficult to manage myself, the heat inside me building, my stomach nodding itself as we trade spit. Lovely. I'm excited, utterly captivated by every piece and part of her. And at the same time, deeply ashamed because I'm forced to heed the voice deep in my head beneath the mounting lust. This is going too fast. This isn't okay. Stop is what I wanted to say, but I can hardly get it out as an incoherent whisper, my mouth barely giving me a chance to breathe. Liv. I mutter as she leans away, her teeth finding their way to my earlobe and tugging it. Her hands are beginning to wander, leaving my arms as I trail down my body. She's sliding lower, fingers finding to my waistband. Stop! Do they actually do it in the fic?
Yeah, do they fug in the fic?
Yeah, do they fug in the fic? I'm finally able to sputter the word out, leaning away, shoving myself a bit away from her along the surface of the bed. The heat of the moment lingers, but the passion snuffed out like a smothered candle.
I have never been drier, Inko.
Every time! Inko is quite stupid. The beautiful thing that was enrapturing me, but moments prior had vanished. Now that there was just Olivia, a look of anxiety and fear on her face, hunched over on her side awkwardly as she stared at me. Like, I get it. We just got back together after, like, a big detrimental thing.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah. This is very much a, let's take this slow. I like this.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Her murmur breaks my heart. She sounds hurt, scared, and confused.
Am I doing something wrong? Do you not find me attractive? Lady, that's the problem. You are way too attractive.
Yeah, but let us not talk about the ending of Garden of Rosa. So.
No, please. Why? Why'd you have to bring that up? I had happy thoughts, and now you just fucking ruined them.
Yeah.
I am, like, legit disgusted in you.
I'm still struggling to contain myself. My need to be a better boyfriend for her is engage in mortal combat against the creature thrashing inside of me, wanting to throw caution completely to the whim. Return is the edge I need to master myself once more, and I shift closer. My hands raised to find her cheeks, and I cradle her head, centering her eyes on mine. Liv, my brain is still fried. The blood needed for it pumping to places I'm otherwise refusing to entertain. Oh, well, I mean...
For Rosa? Watch the playthrough. I really don't want to get into it. Let me tell you,
it's worse than either...
It's an ending one experience.
It's worse than both ending ones. I don't know. It's pretty bad.
I would compare it to Wani ending one. I think Wani ending one's way worse than the Snootening. To be completely honest.
Oh, hello. Who's this little goober? Oh god, is that an Among Us? Okay, never mind. I regret.
It's an Among Us. Yeah, of course. It's all
means.
personal opinions and stuff like that, but it's bad for me. I hated it, and the worst part about it is that it just, like, ends.
Yeah.
There's no, like, see, at least when you play these games, you can save the goodness for the end, so then you're leaving on a high note.
Because it's still a work in progress, no, only the two bad endings were, like, had anything. Not even the good endings were, like, had a sentence.
Yeah, and I mean, even if we could have played to the other ending, I don't even think we did. I think we were just like, okay, we need to step
No,
away
it wasn't
from
even
this.
done. We like.
Oh yeah, no.
To be fair, we didn't even know if the ending we did play was done, and God, I hope so.
Yeah, but where it stopped,
I'd hate for that to
bad.
continue. Is what I'm saying.
The only right way to go from there is Rosa kicking the ever-loving shit out of Anon, and it turns into a fucking berserk manga. Like
Griffin.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it
That's-
so much.
it's bad.
I fucking hate
Anyway,
it.
we are a stone's throw away from this, so.
Okay, thank you.
To borrow a phrase from Damien earlier, it's like I'm playing with controller lag. I try to think of a term to describe just how gorgeous she is. Beautiful, heavenly, angelic. You're really fucking hot, Lily. Good joke. Good payoff.
Yes.
Smooth. It ain't that. It ain't that. You're... I blushed on my lips for a moment. Olivia furrows her brow, tilting her head. I raise a hand in a placating gesture. Look, I'm just not really equipped for this right now. The point I'm trying to get to, I want to do this with you. I do. But we just got back together, and I think we're still getting over what happened in our own way. More importantly, I don't want you to do this because you think you owe it to me.
Ingo.
I just want our first time to be something perfect. I want us to both be comfortable. I don't think you are yet. Olivia just stares at me. There's a wet, warm look in her eyes. Does that make sense? Too corny?
Big ol' hug.
She doesn't respond verbally, but she does lean forward and throws herself against me, wrapping me tight into a bear hug that brings us both toppling over onto the bed. I can feel her nodding, squeezing her head against my neck. Good. Also, I think Randy would melt my face off if he caught us. Olivia snorts, laughing against me.
You're probably right.
We lay there for a long moment, tangled with one another, but the moment I try to raise, I can feel her force me to halt.
Yeah, no, not kidding. Like, let me tell you, when it comes to horror movies, nothing gets my skin crawling more than 3 big things: home invasions, that, and body horror. You're staying with me tonight.
But
I don't care. I'll deal with Uncle Randy if he becomes a problem. But I don't want to be alone tonight. Please.
I can't resist her pleading. With a sigh, I lower myself back into the blankets, pulling her close. As Olivia begins to snuggle against me, I find myself staring towards a crack in the blinds of her window, through which moonlight is peering through upon us, illuminating us. I use it to get a better look at her. All I see is perfection. Something I don't deserve, breathing gently against me. I keep watching the same moon that had scorned me but a week ago as my fingers trace through her hair, allowing her body heat and the faint tempo of our hearts to begin to lull me back to sleep.
And then I woke up on my couch.
Oh wait,
That would be so fucked.
This is the dev note. Okay, I was gonna say, like,
hey.
I woke up to the fucking nuclear apocalypse. Like, what?
Hey, hey, what's going on? You played our game? Yeah, hey, it's me.
It's me, the author of this mod. If you're here, then that means you finished it. Thanks for playing.
Cool.
Nope, thanks
You're
for
welcome.
making it. Thanks for
good.
making it. It's really good. So good.
I will count that as what? 2.5? Yeah. Well,
On a what?
yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, 2.5.
Okay.
Like of the base game, it'd be like ending 2.5. Yes, it was great.
Yeah, so great. Yeah. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. One of my desires was to turn my favorite fanfic into a mod. Having done that, I feel fulfilled now.
Oh no, please make more.
Anyways, if you have some questions, I'll answer them. Otherwise, you can go.
Yeah, what happens later in the story?
Yeah, fuck. Well, if you wish to know, you can check out the original fanfic.
God, you're such a tease.
This mod covers only the first 4 chapters. There are more to see. More drama, more hugs. The fanfic is yet to be finished, but the author still updates it. Okay, see, that makes sense.
Can I get it in manga form?
You can find the link to the fanfic on the Steam mod page. Are you going to finish this mod by adding more chapters from the fic? Most likely not. I only plan to cover the first 4 chapters. There are 2 reasons why I'm not going to finish this. First, the fanfic isn't even finished either. Totally fair. Second, I'd like to start writing my own visual novels. I already made 3 mods. it's time to take a break from the gator.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Was that the only question then? Like what do you want to take a break from the gator, but are you doing more Snoot mods? Are you making mods of other things?
if you're making your own, yeah, throw that our way. We'll play it. I'll have to see who made this.
Yeah.
I'll have to, okay, I'll have to scour around, see who made this. See if I can, like, reach out to them. But yeah, like, if you're watching this, fucking excellent. That was great.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't, like, quote unquote write most of it, it was still, like, well put together.
Oh man, those animation stuff is so smooth. So now, well, have any of you two read it? I don't know how many people are viewing. If anybody is viewing that just wants to pop in and be like, I've read it. I just want to know if it like continues to be good.
Check Discord for the
like,
anime.
is there a reason they only went up to 4 chapters? Did they just want to hit that emotional mark? When can I have interviews with people? I got questions. I am a curious bastard. We're a little past the ending of...
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's...
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll check.
Oh, that's cool. That's real cool, yeah. Awesome. I didn't know that's how they did this scene, but that, yeah, it's... Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna
See,
do
that's the kind of stuff I'd love to dive fucking 14 hours a day into. Just making some smooth shit like that. There's probably some drama. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have drama. It's just... See, that's why I like things like Horimiya. Because it has the drama, but it addresses the drama quickly because of communication. And then it can just move on. You have more sweet moments. That's why it's the best rom-com. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Let me see if if this person's in the big Snoot Discord.
Okay. You do that. But you're gonna have to do that on your own time. Because you 120.
Yeah. Yep. It is pretty late at night for both of us, and I'm hungry. I think, because we may take a extended BRB, I'll probably, like, leave for, like, an hour, because I'm probably going to go out and get something to eat, and, you know, come back and eat it, and stuff like that. We might be back with something else. We might do an almond stream. I think we need a little almond.
Yeah, if you say so. Yep, everybody say goodnight to Kerb. Good night, Kerb.
Good night, Kerb.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know what's going on tomorrow.
Yeah, you do that, and we'll probably do a little Snoot. We haven't gone on short mod. Well, we've gotten short mods, but like we haven't gotten them consecutively.
Enjoy the almond live.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
I don't know what game you're gonna be playing.
I'm sorry. That was the wrong button.
No, that's fine.
I accidentally hung up on Kerb.
No, I'm still here.
No, but I accidentally closed the call. I left the call by accident. Right, because you probably don't hear that because you also have stupid mode enabled. By the way, chat, always be a gator dater. Yeah.